Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is RedSunGamer, Son of a Podcast, episode 46. Today's date, August 12th. And in the house we have Elliot.
Yo, what's up?
I'm very good, thank you very much. And we have Cheesemeister.
Wasabi.
Wasabi. Okay. And we have Stephen is not with us today. Stephen is in the UK. He's on vacation. He took I think it's 10 days. He's 10 days in the UK, so he's being replaced.
You can call me Steven if you like.
Nah. You're not a Steven. You're not a Steven. You drink too much coffee to be a Steven.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah, so today, replacing Steven is Eric.
How's it going, people?
Hey, Eric. How you doing?
Doing fantastic.
Bit of background. Who are you?
On the NeoGaf, some people might know me as Revenant Kyoku, also on the Twitters and all that kind of stuff. I think what people might actually know me from on NeoGaf and those gaming things is the Final Fantasy V challenge I do every year.
Ah, yeah.
The Child's Play charity event started. I did it last year, but that's been running for 4 years now, I think. So I do that, and I generally have a bad taste in video games and an argumentative attitude. So hopefully I will, add a little snap crack on pop to this podcast.
Excellent. Good. So where are you in Japan?
I am in Nara Prefecture. So I think actually, don't we have all the Na prefectures now? Isn't that all of them?
Oh, wait. You might be right.
I think there's 3 prefectures in Japan that begin with Na. And I think since I'm in Nara, we got all 3 of them now.
Yeah,
so
Nagasaki,
pretty good.
Nara, Nagoya.
Right? Oh, nice. So we're representing.
Excellent representing. Good. So I'm DJ Mizuhara. So let's get on with it. Opening question goes to Cheesemeister. Roll it.
So this one comes from Daniel Luzin. If one day you receive an unlimited amount of money, what will you do first?
Go ahead, Cheesy.
Go, Cheesy. Roll
Time to think.
Well, first of all, the premise of the question is flawed because if you were to create unlimited money, it would devalue the currency itself.
Maybe that's the hidden meaning behind it, though.
So would you be willing to destroy the economy for the sake of your own greed?
Oh, man, you're taking this way too deep.
Is he, though?
But what I think Daniel Luzin is trying to ask is, what would you do if you had more money than you could spend? Not necessarily just destroy the economy through printing unlimited money.
So you're not Apple.
And your answer is?
Well,
who's typing, man? Who's typing? Someone's writing an essay or something?
I'm sorry.
Stop writing the essays.
Okay.
Go for it. Sorry.
Okay, so this immediately reminds one of the movie Office Space.
Ah, good stuff.
Where the question is, what would you do if you had $1 million?
Okay. What was I've never seen the movie, so I'm already stumped.
Okay, well, there were 2 answers. The one that the main character Peter gives is nothing. I would do nothing. I would sit on my butt and do nothing. It would be great.
Okay.
That's as good as answer as any. Okay, I guess I'll go next. If I had, unlimited money to spend, what would I do? I would buy my own island nation. Okay.
Which one? Sealand?
Maybe Sealand. Maybe put my plans into effect to create a water world.
I think that's already been done.
No, it hasn't. This is a completely original idea. And maybe change my name to Kevin Costner. So, yeah.
Good name. That's a good name.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
It is. Are you going to get implants behind your ears?
Maybe.
And
I
web
was thinking
feet?
about it.
But at what cost?
Shh. I'm willing to make the sacrifices necessary
You're
to
gonna
create a new world order.
So does that mean you're going to drink your own pee?
You know, I haven't thought about that. So I'm just going to take a sip of the CC lemon and try not to think about it.
Excellent. Okay, right. Eric, go.
If I had lots and lots of money, what would I do? Let's see. He already said nothing, so 2 chicks at one time? Is that how it goes?
That was the other answer.
I don't even so much money that I didn't know what to do with it.
That's
I
the
guess
correct answer.
Yeah, is that the answer? You know, I clone a few chicks and two at once. Is that that's? I think that's inappropriate. I think we're above that on this podcast, aren't we? Let me think.
I don't know.
That's a rude.
You're
rude,
married,
rude.
Right? That's wrong.
Oh, that's just rude. I'm so rude. I don't know what would I do with a lot of money. I would hire all the remaining two good developers in Japan and have them make actual games. That's what I would do.
Oh, burn.
Oh, what developers are they? Are you going to name names?
Oh no, let's not name names. You'll know how bad my taste is.
There you go. So I want to know what kind of games you want to play.
Do you guys know Akitoshi Kawazu? You know his name?
Yes, I know his name very well. Thank you, Eric.
Okay,
I love this man. The Saga games from Square. I missed them. I want some more.
Okay.
You're one of the first people I've ever heard say that.
So much fun.
Is that it?
Let's just go with that for right now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Right, I'd buy myself a job in the games industry. There you go. And fund the game that I want to make.
You're way too legit.
So noble.
In it. I don't quit, though.
All right, games.
Right, games. Right, this week for games, we've got Eric in because he's been playing Dragon Quest. Is that right, Eric?
On the Wii.
Okay, so what's your background with Dragon Quest?
So I actually remember distinctly when it was announced. They had this whole thing. The video was playing on the internet. I was holding my son on my knee. He was bouncing up and down with joy. The Dragon Quest music played for the video. It started up. My son smiled. I'm like, oh, good boy. And, we're watching this, father and son watching this video, and they're showing all these new things. And I'm not a big graphics guy, so I see the graphics. I'm like, oh, this looks nice. It's on the Wii. I think it looks pretty good. I'm excited. They're showing all these, new races they're going to have, so your characters get a little bit of different flavor to them. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then it's like Dragon Quest 10 online, and my heart just woo, and just sinks as much as it did when Final Fantasy XI was announced. Maybe even more because this is Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is just so. The one thing I guess in the West that people don't like it is just so traditional, but the fans that really like it love that tradition thing. So just seeing that online part, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm skipping this one. Everything I heard about it, every few information released, I'm like, nope, skipping this. So it came out, last week, Thursday? And that's another thing, Dragon Quest come out on Saturday. You don't release a Dragon Quest on Thursday. It's crazy. You're gonna destroy the school system. No one will go to school or you're gonna want to go to work because Dragon Quests come out on Saturday. And then releasing it on a Thursday is oh, wait a minute. We don't even have confidence in our game. That's what Square Enix is saying by putting it out on a freaking Thursday. Good God, this is Dragon Quest. Anyway, so I was actually in the States for 3 weeks, and I got back this Tuesday. I'm chatting on the internet, and a friend goes on NeoGAF by Iana was talking to me, and she actually got the game, was playing it, and so I think about 12 hours after that, I'm driving, on my little break at work and pick up the game. And so I was back in Japan for not even a day, and I bought it. So the few things that she said really got me interested, and then I picked it up, and I put 22 hours into it so far. And I don't throw around the term Game of the Year very often, but Game of the past 3 years maybe. I think that might sound right.
Oh dang!
Wow.
No, I mean.
So your friend is playing it.
Yes.
They're not in Japan, right?
Oh, they're in Japan. They're in.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, they're in Japan.
Right, because I think last week we said that it was IP blocked, right?
You can get around it apparently with VPN. Some people are getting around it, but yeah, no, you can get around it apparently.
Yeah, just a quick Google search will reveal quite a few ways you can kind of get around that issue. So
okay, cool. So the game, you want to get into it? What's the story?
Well,
yeah, is this traditional Dragon Quest story or what? I mean, that was one of my concerns with it, is that as an online MMO, or that's redundant, but as an MMO, is it sacrificing the kind of traditional Dragon Quest stories that the series is known for, you know. That was kind of a concern of mine, so if you could help me out here.
Well, I was really confused because you start it up and you have to install it first. You know, you go through the whole thing because you need the 16 gigabyte card, which actually, to sidestep for a second, you know, I just said I was in the States for 3 weeks, and so I come back to Japan and I go and buy this. And what is it? The set that comes with the USB stick is like 8,000 yen or something like that.
Yes.
And the game is like 5,000 something. And like the store had it for like 5,500 or something like that. And I went and I was like, well, screw this. I'm just going to, you know, use the points I've saved up and get like a 1,000 yen stick. And so I grabbed that, bring it all to the register, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if this stick works with this game. Can you hold on a minute? Can we look up this?" So they start Googling it, and one woman gets on the phone and starts calling people, and she said, "Please have a seat. You know, we're gonna figure this out for you." And I'm like, I think I have to get to work in a little bit. But I was like, you know, knowing my luck, I'll buy it and it won't work for some stupid reason because that's my luck. So I was looking around and they had the official one for 2,000 yen, I think it was, and it was like 5% points on Dragon Quest. So I just bought Dragon Quest, got more points, got the stick for cheap, and went on my merry way. But yeah, they were really trying to be helpful to make sure that it didn't screw up and didn't work. They told me all about the online. And all that stuff.
Making sure you know that it's online only.
Yep, they made sure I knew everything about it. You know, you're going to have to pay months to pay it after the... There's 23 days, too. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
But there's 23 days.
Yeah, my local store has a chart of USB sticks which will work and won't.
Yeah, they were looking at something like that. They didn't have that up there, but they had it for themselves.
This is a huge poster right next to the Dragon Quest display of basically it's just a list of USB drives which will and won't work.
Yeah, so I just went with the official one to save myself hassle instead of worrying about it. But, so yeah, I got that, got home, installed it.
How long did it take?
This was after an Inkai, a drinking party that was at work, so I don't remember. I kind of was drunk. I think it took an hour.
Are you still drunk? Because you sound a bit funny.
Do I? I'm sorry. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm. You know, is that a problem?
We leave that to you, boys.
Anyway, so I think it took about an hour though. I think it was under an hour.
Yeah, that's not awful.
So I installed it and started. But that's the thing. Like, you know, you install an MMO, and what's the first thing that happens after you install the MMO?
Account
creation.
Account creation, right? No account creation, just starts playing the game.
It didn't crash.
Huh. No. Yeah, you just start playing the game. You create your character, and you just start playing.
So wait, I have memories of Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy XI, and kind of the account processes you have to go through with like Square Enix and how much of a headache that all was.
Right.
And there's none of that here.
Well,
at first.
Well, you mean it starts up. You create your character, you go through. There's a bit of a story, and you start playing, and then you just keep playing. You get 2 NPC characters helping you out. You're playing, and this is the battle system that's in the main game. And you're playing, and then a big event happens, and it just sells you. Now there's 2 things that are going to split off. One of the NPCs has an offline mode that you can play, and then there's the online mode, which is the main quest. And that's with the main character you created. And then you go in there, and then you do your last tweakings for your character. It checks... It'll tell you how many people have your name, because you don't have to have a unique name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have an ID as well. So after that, it goes through, and it says there's 56 people with your name. Is that okay? You want to change your name? Whatever. And then you create it, and then it starts your story based on your race. So whatever race of the 5 races you picked, it starts out a different way.
Huh.
So then the game starts, and you go on from there. And so yeah, it gives you a little taste of it, and then it splits you off into like, from now on you're gonna have to play online. Let's create your account. And I already had a Square Enix members account, so that was pretty easy. I just typed in that went through. I typed in the code that was in the thing, that went through. I didn't want a separate credit card, that went through. I think it was just agreeing to something else, and then the last step was like account creation or something like that. It was really easy. It didn't take that long at all.
So it's a pretty painless process overall.
Pretty painless. Probably a little, I mean, not a hassle, but it would take a little more time if you didn't have the Square Enix members account.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just did that and finished up my character creation and went through. And then 22 hours later, I got a good amount of the game. I've been playing with some friends, some random people, and with the AI party members. So there's a good variety in there. There's so many, like, there's just so many systems. I knew nothing about this game because, like I said, I was like hating it. But there's just so many like systems in this game that are like really nice. Like I haven't played an MMO since WoW in like 2005. So like I could be saying these things and everyone's like, all MMOs have had this, but I don't know. But like there's just so many little systems. Like most MMOs have servers, right?
Yeah.
In Dragon Quest, right now they currently have 40. You guys were talking last week. They said 20 servers. They upped it because of how busy they are. They have 40 servers right now. The last 20 say they're temporary servers, but you can switch servers at any time. It doesn't matter what server you're on.
Really? So you're not locked to a server?
You're not locked to a server. And
that's nice.
Chatting with your friends is cross-server. So if you hop on, you look at your friends list, you can see, all right, this friend's on server 4, this friend's on server 13, and you can chat with them right there and say, hey guys, let's meet up on server 4.
Is this voice chat or just type chat?
This is typing, and since it's like intended for Japanese, the text boxes are kind of small. Mm-hmm. So if you're typing in English, you're typing a lot. Your Japanese fits a lot more in there.
So the Japanese getting freaked out if you're typing in English or what? Or do you just type in Japanese entirely?
I type in Japanese to the Japanese folk, yeah. My friends who are English speakers, I type to them in English. But yeah, so we at first you'd have to log out to change your server, but at a certain point in the game, when you do this little quest to unlock other things, one of the things it unlocks is if you're at an inn, you can talk to this one person and they will say, hey, you want to change your server right now? So you can be playing the game and just hop to a different server. So the servers are really not important what servers you play on. And I guess what it is important for is, the first one's like your default servers, and then you have your specialized servers. Like, this is for students, this is for people without keyboards, this is for people who want to play alone, this is for people who cry at night. Like, there's just different servers that you can go on and, the community whole thing. But yeah, you can just hop over anytime. Chat is cross-server. Really cool. Let's see, I got a whole list here of stuff that's so nice. Let's see. But the one problem I do have with the, like this is awesome. Like the servers and like your friends are cross servers. You don't have to be, what server we're going to play on, everyone's on this server. Or was it like in Final Fantasy 11 it was like you couldn't even pick your server, right? At first.
Didn't you get randomly assigned pretty much at the beginning, yeah.
Wanted to change, you had to pay in-game money to change. So this is, far cry from that. It's much better. But the friends is a little annoying because, first you have the codes, which is nice because then you can, if you really want to have your name, you don't have to be like, Eric with a Q at the end. You can have your name. And then they have your unique ID, which you type in. But if you want to add someone as a friend, both people have to be on at the same time.
Is it the case that you send a friend request and they have to be? Oh wait, that wouldn't work either. Because I was thinking, you have to send a friend request and they have to accept it, but that would require both people to be online at the same time necessarily. So
online. So that's a little annoying because there's just that gap thread and people have all their stuff and it's like, sweet. Do I start asking people if they're online or just start typing in stuff? And so that's a little annoying. Especially how nice it is with the server, cross-server chat and all that stuff. That was a little disappointing. It's it's actually more annoying than friends codes.
So wait, I just realized, actually, as you were talking about this, so this requesting friends in Dragon Quest X is completely different from requesting friends via friend code for your Wii. So, they're totally separate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you friend someone in DQ10, you're not friending someone on your Wii?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just its own little thing.
Its own system, okay.
Yeah. But, the thing that, got me is when my friend, she was saying, it's very much Dragon Quest. And it is. It's very much Dragon Quest. It's still very much an MMO. It's so much an MMO. And it has a few MMO things that I just don't like. To get those out of the way, the one thing is everything is just so, I guess because, I have so many people playing, but everything's just so spread apart. Like, that's my big problem with MMOs, is just like it takes time to get somewhere. You know, you have to, like, when you're walking somewhere, it'll take more time. Like, another thing is there's the bazaars where you can sell your junk that you don't need to get money to other players. But when you get your money, it comes in your mailbox, and the mailbox is never next to the bazaar. Like, so if you get the mail, you have to run back. And sometimes I'll sell stuff, and someone will buy it almost instantly. But if I want that money, I got to go run somewhere else. So the little annoying things like that. And it's a little slower progression-wise than a Dragon Quest, I feel.
I would imagine it'd have to be.
Yeah, not as slow as some other... Like, I never really got that much into other MMOs, but I'm already level 20 with one character. And my 20 at 2 hours. So, you know, I feel like I'm making a good pace, but it's not Dragon Quest pace. Like, it still feels slower than a real, you know, offline, non-MMO Dragon Quest. But they do really cool things. Like, the Bazaar, for example. When you look for an item, you can sort by all your different things. But, like, say you're buying, like, 5 of one of, like, an item for crafting. Well, then, in that case, like, it'll tell you, you know, the average, like, not the average, but the cost per item. So, like, you know, someone's selling 5 for X amount, I'll tell you how many it is, and you can compare that to other people and get the best deal for yourself.
Okay.
And when you're selling, if you want, you can get a list of 100 items of the same item that's being sold on all the servers. I think it's all the servers. And you can base what you're going to sell yours off of based on what everyone else is selling it at.
So find the average.
You don't have to look it up yourself and then determine how much you want to sell stuff for.
Huh.
So it's got all little nice things like that. And even there's this website. It's did I close it? No, there it is. It's hiroba.dqx.jp, and on here you can actually browse the bazaar and see like prices of items, and obviously you can see your character and all the stuff, your friends, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So from like, you know, arguably from like your smartphone or something, if you're really intensely into Dragon Quest, you could look up prices like on your smartphone, you know, go to the site and just, you know, while you're out, see what's going on in the bazaar and make purchasing decisions there pretty much.
Yep. Or as one, like my friend was saying, she was like, what she uses it for is, like, say your inventory fills up, you want to get rid of something, you can look and see what the most junkiest item is and just throw that away. So you don't accidentally throw away something expensive if you don't know it. So there's cool stuff like that. And then the other things that, like the problem I always had with MMOs was, like, if you're not playing, you're getting behind. Like, you're getting behind your friends, you're losing all that.
Yeah.
The thing about this is there's the bar. When you log off in the tavern, if you log off there, when you hire NPCs to fight with you, you're hiring other players. Other players logged off in the tavern. So when you hire someone and you play and do stuff with them, you can't, with their as NPCs, when they log back in, they get a part of the money and experience that you earned while playing with them.
Huh.
If your character is good, and a lot of people hire your character, when you come back, you will get like all this money. Like, I came back in, I got like 600 XP and like 500 gold for doing nothing, just not playing. You know, people were character.
So you're uploading your avatar essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
For use.
And
that's really cool.
You can search for your friends, so you could use your friends while they're not playing, and you can have your friends look.
That sounds kind of kinky.
So yeah. So there's little nice things like that, and
what I want to hear about, the combat a little bit, because Dragon Quest has always had a very traditional turn-based system, and I remember before 9 came out for the DS, there was a lot of I think early on, wasn't it going to be a more real-time system?
Yeah, it was supposed to be
initially
action RPG, I believe it was, and
yeah,
it had been said by someone playing Dragon Quest X, they can feel like they were making Dragon Quest 9 and 10 at the same time, and when they changed Dragon Quest 9, they were taking things from 10 and scaling them down for 9. Is what it kind of feels like. Like, you can really see a lot of the systems that are in 9, like how they are more expanded and, you know, in 10 that way. There's a lot of similar things. The battle system it's not turn-based.
Okay.
But how it works is when you're running, you run up to an enemy that's on the field, and it is the traditional Dragon Quest, shows you the enemy, you know, first person.
Oh wait, so there's a field changing like effect? Like it's not just, it doesn't automatically just like the enemy spots you and you're fighting.
Right, there's a little effect, like there's a little that traditional.
Oh, that's cute.
And then the battle starts, and then sometimes it's one enemy. Most of the time it's one enemy. Sometimes another enemy will hop in as well. You have two enemies to fight. That's, I mean, at this point, I don't know how many they're going to be on later, but you have one or two enemies to fight generally. And the nice thing is no one can mess with you. No one can like screw you up. But what they can do is help you. If you know the Dragon Quest from 8, they have the tension system.
Yeah.
You get more powerful by taking those turns. Well, someone can come and cheer you on, and when they cheer you on, your tension raises, and that basically helps you do more damage on your next attack. So people standing around you can like cheer you on, and you'll be doing more damage. So
they can't run in. They can't run in and steal your kill.
They can't steal your kill. Steal your stuff. And if you're partying up, generally you'll stay close together. But say one person's far apart, you can run in to someone. Yeah, if your party member is already in battle, you can run in, join them, and help them out, finish it off.
That sounds a lot like 9.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah,
I never played it in multiplayer, but I heard that it was very similar in that respect.
Much like that. Pretty much like that.
What about the what is it, like the pushing system? Like you can push enemies or something?
Yeah, you can push them, and you have a weight stat, and that affects how much you can push them. And placement doesn't seem to matter that much right now, but from what I'm hearing, placement starts to matter more in the more higher up levels, like where your characters are in retrospect to the enemies and stuff. And I'm using whips, and when there are multiple enemies, if they're close enough to each other, the enemy you targeted takes the brunt of the whip's damage, but the other enemies that are nearby will take like a portion of that damage as well. So if the other players are helping push the enemies together and I attack with my whip, like everything will take a little bit more damage. But if they're all spread apart, I'll just attack the one.
Okay.
So that's the whip. I haven't used any other weapons, but I can imagine there'd be other things like that in the game.
So, and this is something I was watching the stream that Richard from Kotaku was doing when he first picked up the game, and it was kind of a concern of mine, is how's the music for the game? Because it sounds like it reuses a lot of Dragon Quest music from previous games, and I'm a little bit concerned that there's not a whole lot of original compositions in there.
I think the main battle theme is original, but so far there's only one of them, and that's kind of disappointing.
Only one battle theme?
I mean, I think the boss ones are different, but I think those maybe be reused. So yeah, the music, some people seem to be disappointed in the music, but there are forums on these Dragon Quest page, official Square Enix forums, and people are complaining about that, and it seems developers are talking back to them. So who knows what's going to happen in later updates, but the feedback is being noticed by Square Enix. So Who knows? But yeah, I mean, music has never really been a big thing to me. Like, I don't care that much about it. But yeah, I mean, it's Dragon Quest music, so I don't mind it. But yeah, I don't really notice anything like drastically like, oh my god, this is so new and so good as far as music goes. Yeah.
So when you're actually playing,
yes,
and you're in a world, can you see everybody at the same time, or what? Or is it instanced?
No, you see pretty much everybody. The one thing that does get split up is if you're in town, you don't see any AI guys. I think it's how it works. If you're in town, you don't see AI people, but if you're out in where there are monsters, you'll see other people's AI folk. I think that's the only thing they kind of hide in the town.
So, how does that performance hit the Wii?
It's a Wii game.
No, I'm saying when you're in a town and you can see everybody. I mean, does it fall? I mean, does the frame rate die or something, or what?
It doesn't seem too choppy to me. I wouldn't call it choppy. But
so you do see a slight hit then?
Maybe I've never logged on to one of the heavy ones. I always go for the servers that are really, really low.
That's probably a smart idea.
So I've just been sticking to like the almost empty servers. And so I really haven't been noticing. People have been saying, the frame rate can be pretty bad at times, but nothing that's bothered me, I should say.
It's not game breaking, in other words.
Nothing has bothered me. My connection has been good too. Like, I've never been dropped. Nothing on the technical side has bothered me to the extent where I don't want to play it.
Okay. So with you were saying before. I was actually thinking, how does it look being a Wii game? I hate to say, it's a Wii game. How does it actually look?
I like how it looks. It's Dragon Quest 80, maybe a little. I don't know how to say it. Like maybe a little bit, MMO-y and a little lower because they're expecting more things to be on screen at once. But yeah, I like how it looks. It has that Dragon Quest style, and it looks like Dragon Quest 8 kind of, which was a beautiful game. So yeah, I think it looks good.
Are you happy that you bought this and not waited for the Wii U version, or what?
We're gonna really how many did it sell? It didn't sell gangbusters, right?
This is actually an interesting point. Because for comparison, the first week in Japan on the PlayStation 2, Final Fantasy XI sold, I think, a little over 60,000 units.
Right.
And this past week, Dragon Quest X, again an MMO, sold 367,000 units, just about, and some change. So I mean, arguably, of course, other Dragon Quest games have sold significantly better. 6 times better, sometimes better, crazy amounts. But this is also an MMO, so you can't really hold it to that same standard.
I'm glad I'm getting at the start, because there's that whole mysterious feeling, I guess, a little bit when you're playing an MMO at the beginning. Like everything's new and no one really knows what's going on.
That's what's pushing me to want to buy it.
you don't hop in and find someone to play with and they're like, all right, well, this is the best way to play your character, so let's go like this. Ignore having fun. You want to optimize your character to this extent. People are all exploring it together right now, and I like that feeling. And with the whole I don't know how. The thing I'm kind of worried about is how many people are going to be playing after the free 20 days. How many people are going to stick with it? How many people are going to just plow through these 20 days, get what they want out of it, and then be done?
So one thing I was thinking about is because Square Enix has been kind of talking up how this still has the single player qualities of a Dragon Quest. So my concern is that within these 20 some odd days, hardcore Dragon Quest fans will play the game, beat the main quest, and then just be done with it. But I don't know if the quest is that kind of length, or if it's more designed like an MMO where there's no way anybody's going to be beating the main quest within the first month.
I think I've heard people have beaten it.
Really?
I think I've heard that. I didn't think. I know I've heard that. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that. But I mean, to get back at the question, I'm glad I got it now. I'm glad I'm getting in. I'm glad I'm enjoying it. I mean, this was a game I wasn't going to buy, but someone's saying it is pretty Dragon Questy, and it is. It's very Dragon Questy. At the same time, it is still an MMO. Okay. So it has a little,
Okay, so what kind of experiences have you had with Japanese players? I mean, do they know you're a Westerner, or do they run away? Oh, he's a Westerner, he's not going to be able to understand me. You know what I mean? Or are they good towards you? How are they?
I don't know if they know.
How's the community? I guess I'm asking.
But I've had a few people just say, hey, join my party, let's play, and they'll just be like, no, I'm not going to play with you. I don't know why they're doing that, though. There's no reason given. But I've just invited random people that are in the same field as me, and they've been joining, and I've been little chat. A lot of people have the whole no keyboard thing up. I don't have a keyboard. A lot of people have that, so they only talk with the built-in macros. A lot of people do that. But I've chatted with a few people, nothing crazy. They're not generally talkative to the other players, not too much. But it's no bad vibes at all. Lots of people do that cheering thing, when you're fighting. Very often, people will be running past and they'll stop to do that cheer thing. Every single time I've died, I've just waited a little bit, and someone who ran past me was a cleric, and they healed me back up. They raised me.
Oh, wow.
So people are really nice. Have had no problems. One guy was kind of like I invited him and his other friend. I was playing this other guy, and so it became a party of 4, and that's the max. And he was like, "Oh, I'm kind of waiting for my other friend. Can one of you leave?" And they're like, "Well, I guess." He's like, "Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, that was the weirdest thing I've had so far.
So what happens when you die? Can you die?
You can die, and when you die, you have a 5-minute timer to be revived.
Okay.
And past level 10, if you die, you lose half your gold, like a Dragon Quest game. Up to level 10, you don't have any penalty for dying. But past level 10, you lose half your gold. But
so the party that you're with, are they?
Right.
they've got 5 minutes to revive you. Can they choose not to revive you and just steal your gold, or what?
They won't get your gold. You'll just lose your gold.
Oh, okay.
So there's no benefit to them. If they can revive you, they'll revive you. Sometimes, because like not all classes have that reviving ability, so sometimes I often would be playing without one of those. So, but someone running by will eventually be one, and that's generally what happens. Someone's just running by, and hey, you're just a dead guy. I'll heal him. And that's just pretty much how it goes. And they don't get anything out of healing you. Like, there's no experience or anything. They just do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Oh, okay. So you said before that there was like 5 races.
Yes.
What kind of percentage are you seeing in within game of what are people choosing?
Well, I'm in the starting area still.
Right.
And you actually, not too far in the game, you can start traveling to other places. So I picked the water race, and so obviously I just see a bunch of those. But I still see a chunk of the elves and the really tiny little guys. I forget their names. Not so many orcs and what's the last one? Gnomes. I think the gnome guy, or the dwarfs. I'm sorry, it's dwarf. Is I've seen the least of.
So, I mean, even though there's different races, are the races able to, like, team up together?
Yeah, there's no, like, I think it was like a warring thing in Final Fantasy. Oh, that was a region thing in Final Fantasy 11. But, they just join up together. Or when you pick the AI partners, like, you're not restricted. You don't have to pick your race. Like, you can pick anybody that you think looks good to join you. So, yeah, I have, like, 2 other people, completely different races helping me out.
So, how much solo questing have you done?
When I haven't been able to find someone to play with, I go and grab... Well, actually, I've only rented 2 people so far. And when you rent someone...
That sounds terrible.
Right.
Renting people.
But hey, they get stuff out of it, so But,
God,
yeah,
Eric, you're a terrible
Rent
person.
boy.
Yeah, well. But I think they last for 48 real hours. So when those 48 real hours are up, not play hours, mind you, like 48 real hours.
Oh, so if you go to sleep, that's like 7 hours off the clock.
Yeah, it's counting. But it's not that much gold. I'm sure it scales based on the level of who you're renting. Hiring, I should say, right? But yeah, so it's not that bad, and you get them for a good amount of time. And even when you're playing with real people, you can throw them in. You can take them in and out of your party whenever you want. So when it was me and one other guy, I was just playing, we were killing stuff, but when we needed some healing, I would bring in the healer would heal us, and I would kick the fake healer, the NPC healer out. And we would go back, because you get less experience the more people on your party.
Oh, okay.
But, it's faster the more people in your party. So there's that trade-off.
Huh.
So, but the hiring system is really cool in that respect. Plus, it benefits them and it benefits you. So you can kind of solo, but I don't know how much it's going to change the harder the game gets. Because the AI, it's still AI. You can't control them. They're just AI partners.
So if you go into a battle and you don't have any like real world people with you, will it just fill up with AI characters?
You choose before. You can't do this in battle, but
Right.
you choose before battle if you want the AI people out or not.
Okay.
So you can have the 3.
Oh. So you can choose right before the battle, like if you see like.
Sorry. Well, before you get into battle, you have to choose.
Okay.
I mean, the enemies can charge at you. They're not too hostile so far, but they can run into you, and they will run into you time on occasion.
So is it random battles or what?
No, you know what you're getting into.
Okay.
You know what you're getting into. And that's actually the really cool thing. I think the best way someone said it was Dragon Quest X is familiar. Like, if you know Dragon Quest, when you go out into the field, okay, this enemy is weaker than this enemy, because that's how it's been in Dragon Quest games.
Okay.
And they have... Not every enemy is in every single Dragon Quest, but they're pulling a large pool of enemies from all the previous games and putting them in. And you generally have an idea, if you've played the other games, this guy's weaker, this guy's harder, and you know what you're getting into, kind of. But the other nice thing is, what I want to actually talk about a little bit is the menus, because they still use traditional Dragon Quest menus. The whole, press the one, on the Wii, the X button, pulls up the, little box and all your menus. But they really did nice things with that. For example, there's always been search in Dragon Quest. But if you're on the field and do the search, like if there's enemies near you, you can see how strong they are. It'll tell you like this is way too strong for you, or these are really weak. So you can get a feel for what the enemies are around you. And when you're in the town, And from what I remember with WoW, like, you gotta sometimes if there's so many people around, like the shop, you have to turn your camera so you can click on the right person, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with this, you open up the Dragon Quest talk menu, and right at the top will be any nearby like shopkeeps or whatever. And then after that will be any nearby party members, and then after that will be any nearby other people, if you want to talk to them. So you just go to the talk menu, and like right instantly is probably, if you're near a shop, you don't accidentally talk to anybody else, you don't accidentally pull up somebody's menu, you pretty much instantly get the menu you wanted to go to. So
Sounds very user friendly.
So I really like the UI. I mean, again, familiar. If you know Dragon Quest, you're not really learning a new thing. So and that it's very familiar for Dragon Quest players. And even though I'm not a big MMO player, like there's some things about MMOs I like, but like the whole Dragon Quest experience that I love is there and kind of helping me get over the fact that the MMO things I don't like are there. So no, I mean the UI is really nice, and I really enjoy that a lot.
So this is not user input friendly though, is it?
It's there's no like macros and stuff like you would do. Like it's exactly how it would be in a Dragon Quest game. Like if you want to use a spell, you drill through the menus to get the spell.
Yeah, but if you came at this with no Japanese and not being familiar with any kind of Dragon Quest, you're not going to be able to get through this, right? With
no Japanese, yeah, you wouldn't be getting through it. And if you knew the Dragon Quest, how Dragon Quest works, that would help you. But yeah, without the Japanese, that would be pretty rough, I think.
Okay, so do we know if the Wii U version and the Wii version, are they going to be compatible with each other? Do we know that?
That's a good question. I haven't really looked into it much.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they'd be compatible.
It'd be silly.
Otherwise, you'd be alienating, a large user base. Yeah, that would be really silly, I think.
Right, that's what I was just wondering if obviously, because I've not heard of anything. So I mean, on Nintendo or Square Enix haven't put anything out there either saying it does or it doesn't. But yeah, I'd be surprised if it didn't.
I mean, they've been saying, Square Enix has been saying they want to support this game for what, like 10 years. So I mean, I can't imagine fracturing their user bases would be the way to do that.
Right. Okay. No, just wondering.
So Eric,
yes,
like,
go by the game. Just go by it. Now there's a gay open near you. It's still early. Just go by the game.
So you would recommend this to someone who is a Dragon Quest fan and let's say understands Japanese. Would you recommend this?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not completely offended by the idea of an MMO, if you like Dragon Quest, I would definitely recommend it. At least, give it a shot for the 20 days. Because, yeah, I mean, some people just play games for 20 days, They just you'd have to crank it, I'm sure. You'd have to put a lot of time into it to get, a lot of fun out of it. But, I mean, I played 22 hours since I got it on Wednesday so far. So I've really been enjoying it. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it happens after the 20 days are up, how often I'll be renewing my subscription, but we'll see.
Well, I did read something. I think it was on Hachima. After a certain period of time, if you haven't like logged into your account and like played Dragon Quest X, they just erase your character.
See, that's what I was afraid.
And I can't remember the exact date, so nobody take my word on this, but it was definitely either 3 months or less. It was definitely a pretty short span of time as far as MMOs go.
See, I hate that. That's like the whole...
Yeah, that was a really big bummer for me.
Edging you to pay more money to stick in. I think it was like Final Fantasy 11 was even worse. I think your account lapsed. You lose your stuff.
Ugh.
I fixed it. I think you could like get it back, but yeah, that's the one thing I just don't like.
Okay, I think you've sold me on this.
Go buy it. Game of the since Dragon Quest 9.
There's no interaction with the 3DS though, is there? That's all.
There is a code actually, and I haven't gotten around to do it. There was a code in the game for some 3DS app that I need to download, which I haven't done yet.
Oh, really?
There's a code. Yeah, there's a code to go put in the e-store. I don't know if it's out yet. I mean, I imagine it would be if they're giving you the code now. I just haven't bothered with it.
What do you think it could do? Do you think you could like level your character up, go grinding, or I don't know, what could you do with it?
I have no idea.
Probably not that. They would have been pushing out that more. Yeah.
So what do you think it could be, Elliot?
I mean, managing your account, maybe just very basic menu stuff. Nothing special, I can't imagine. Otherwise, you would have seen way more about that in Famitsu. They'd be pushing that a lot more. That's probably just a bonus little thing.
Maybe.
Who knows? Could be like a little clock app for all we know.
Right. Here's Dragon Quest characters in sexy positions.
Oh boy. Go drink that coffee, fella. Okay, so I think that's our Dragon Quest talk, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so.
You want to know anything else, Elliot?
I think I'm good to go. I mean, I'm pretty much set to buy this next paycheck because Eric and pretty much half of my Twitter feed, all they ever talk about is how great Dragon Quest X is and how much fun everybody is having. It's the worst form of peer pressure.
Okay.
You know, Twitter has turned around on me and it's just punching me in the face repeatedly.
Cheesy, are you interested at all?
Not really, no. I've done my time on MMOs. I'm pretty much done.
Right. So, actually, quick one, Eric.
Yes.
You're a teacher, right?
I'm a teacher.
So, what time do you finish school?
What is it, 4:30ish?
Right, because we get every day there's a 2-hour free time, right?
What is it, like from 4 to 6?
4 to 6. Can you get game time in there?
It takes me 45 minutes to get home, and then I'm a father, so no.
No. Okay. No, I'm just wondering if you could keep your account alive by just using the free 2 hours daily.
That's a good point, because isn't there free time on the weekend as well?
Yeah.
There is. I think it's like, what is it? It's like 1 to 3 or something. It's early afternoon.
Yeah, but I mean, if I need to log in every weekend just to keep my character alive until I feel like playing again, if that works, that'd be great, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you do it that way, that you'd be able to keep your character alive and you wouldn't have to come back and find out they've deleted it because you haven't paid for 3 months.
That'd be nice, yeah.
I mean, one thing we didn't talk about, and I kind of find pretty fascinating, is that for the most part, this was a really smooth launch for an MMO, especially.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent point, really.
I mean, most of the time, MMOs they launch and they just like kind of fall hard on their face for the first few days, and save for the servers getting really crowded the first couple of days, like Dragon Quest X kind of jumped over all of those shenanigans. So major props to Square Enix for figuring something out.
Dude, it's been incredibly smooth. Like I can't think of a single issue that I've had, and yeah, it's a very good point. But like in the past, like no, you can't log into your server; it's too busy. Nothing like that. Like no crashes, no disconnects, no problems at all. It's been really
long-term maintenance over the course of like 3-4 days, sort of thing.
That's been incredibly smooth. Yeah, that's a great point.
So how are you connected? Are you connected via Wi-Fi or you LAN?
That's Wi-Fi.
Okay, because no, you can buy a LAN cable for your Wii.
Yeah. Not on Wi-Fi, and it's beautiful.
That plugs into the USB port at the back, right? Because when I was there, I told them, I think it was last week, I was in the store at midnight when all of these Dragon Quest fanboys, I guess, came flooding in, buying
Loyals is the correct term. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Loyals?
Okay. Loyals then. Yeah, so... Yeah, I was just saying that I noticed a bunch of them picked up the USB LAN cable.
You know what? That would explain the whole no keyboard thing, because there's only 2 USB ports on a Wii, right?
Oh, you're right. I never thought about that.
You need if you have the one for the LAN and then one for the USB stick that has the game on it, then yeah, you are no USB for keyboard.
Can't you use a USB hub?
Could you on the Wii? I don't know. Like.
Is it compatible with it? Yeah.
I've never tried that.
Not sure. No idea. No, but I just do remember a bunch of people buying the USB LAN cable.
Well, there's also a fair amount of people in Japan who still haven't really picked up on Wi-Fi yet in the home. So, I mean, that's not too surprising to me, really.
Did you see people picking up the keyboard with the pointy keys on top?
Oh, the slime keyboard?
Yeah.
I was thinking of grabbing that myself when I go.
I think it's sold out though now. Everywhere I've seen
really?
It's totally sold out.
The keyboard, not the game.
Yeah, the keyboard. Yeah.
I mean, I think Square Enix probably grossly overshipped copies of the game, but I also don't think the numbers it did are bad at all, especially for an MMO on the Wii. Well, like a system that's pretty much dead here in terms of sales per week.
Exactly. For a system that was selling like 9,000 units per week. To then sell those kind of numbers and also like quadruple the sales.
Yeah, of the actual hardware itself.
Of the hardware as well, yeah. So I think they're pretty good numbers for an MMO in Japan.
I think for a console MMO period, they're probably pretty good numbers, you know?
Yeah, and also it's a paid MMO as well. Because a lot of the MMOs in Japan on cell phones, they're free to play.
And PC as well, free to play.
And PC as well, so they're free to play. So those type of numbers for an MMO, which obviously require payment, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I know you get like 28 days free, but still
20, yeah.
Or 20 days, yeah. You still get 20 days free, but yet still, I think those numbers are pretty decent, considering. So yeah, okay, cool. Let's move on. My mouse is dead.
That's my fault. Sorry.
I can't. No. Yeah, my mouse has fallen asleep and it won't wake up. Wait.
My bad.
Dragon Quest.
Right. Okay. So I think Cheesy's asleep.
No, I'm not.
No, he's not. He's still here. Excellent.
He's on the edge of his seat. On the edge of his seat. He's gonna be weak like with his DS Triple L and go buy Dragon Quest tomorrow.
I actually thought he'd left and gone to Gayo to go buy it. That's why he's so quiet. I was like, wow, he's gone. He's like, I've had enough.
Well, this whole talk has kept me riveted.
Now you know how I felt through all the Super Mario talk over the last few weeks.
Now you know how I felt through all the Nayuta no Kiseki talk.
Oh, vicious.
Listening to you, listen to this cat fight. Anyway, let's talk about Mario again. So, Cheesy, you said you've been playing Mario. What have you been doing?
Yes. I've been going through the coin rush mode.
So, how many coins do you have?
I just cleared 500,000 coins.
Oh, jeez. Did you get anything for it? Does it give you an achievement or something? Or does it just
it reminds you every time you clear, like, 50,000 coin increments.
Are you still on level 1?
Well, it's a matter of what the people on Street Pass are playing, and everyone is playing the level 1 sets.
So 1 week later, you're no further along.
No, it's like very, very few people are playing anything other than level 1 coin rush sets.
Is that because it's the easiest one, and it's the easiest one to get coins on, or what?
Yeah, I think it's because the levels are the easiest, and or people simply haven't cleared the game.
Okay, are you able to play this game now with your eyes closed?
Just about. I mean, it's gotten to be pretty routine. It's like the same 3 levels over and over and over and over and over again. So I have a routine pretty much scratched out for those levels, but I'm pretty routinely able to get 14,000 coins on my level 1 run. Wow.
What is it? Eric, did you pick this up at all, or are you not interested in Mario?
I hated New Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, high five.
I hate it.
Right now.
Hey.
Galaxy.
You high-fiving the mic.
You know, New Super Mario Bros. Wii was great, but in 3D Land, awesome. But no, I didn't like the original one, so I didn't bother. No,
you didn't bother. Okay, so the coin aspect of it didn't make you go ooh.
Well, I mean, I love me some money, but you know, I just don't care. I don't care. I got Dragon Quest Game of the Year, man.
So, what would you do if you had 1,000,000 coins?
Oh, if I had 1,000,000 coins, I would play Dragon Quest X.
Oh.
I'd make a throne out of the coins.
I'd sell my copy of New Super Mario Brothers 2 if I had one.
I'd buy Dragon Quest X.
You actually, I'm surprised there's a hell of a lot of second-hand copies in the store.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a hell of a lot of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people have got sick and tired of it as well. Going, oh god, it's the same thing again, except got more coins. But I'm not going to go into that because I think I got hammered on it last week. Anyways, okay, so. Cheesy, you played Super Mario Brothers 2 Coin Rush. Oh, you went back and played the Bravery default demos, right?
Yes, I did.
So
all of them?
All of them.
So, what's your impression? Is this something that's made you think, ooh, interested, or nah, leave it?
Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes.
Well...
Say yes.
I was expecting more.
Oh!
We're gonna fight.
It seems like it's taken a page straight out of Final Fantasy 3 and 5.
But it's Final Fantasy 3 and 5.
It's Final Fantasy 3
that can't be a bad thing.
Well, I mean, it's just, really, really, really orthodox Final Fantasy here. We're talking enter every command for every character in your party each turn again. So it's like we've reverted back to almost active time battle, except for the fact that you're managing basically the order of the turns, like how many moves you do in a row through the Brave and default menu commands.
It's a risk-reward system. It's brilliant.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I appreciate the idea behind that. It's like when you select Brave, you get to do multiple actions in a row, and when you select default, you basically parry and save up those turns in a row for later. But what it seems to do is simply draw out the length of each battle. Really?
Because what I found with what I played is when you figure out like the best way of beating the random battles, they become really fast. The random battles become really fast, but the whole system makes the boss fights really intense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bosses can make use of the Brave default system as well. And
every enemy can.
It's very stressful. I found, which is in a good way. I mean, I'd get into a fight, and it's just like, oh man, but if I use my Brave up now and they end up like defaulting, this could end up really badly. They get like 3 attacks on me in a row, could kill. Like, I really like that kind of intensity that comes with every battle.
Yeah, for just regular random battles, it seemed like it was a lot faster to just do the standard button mash, attack, and just forget Brave and default and just bash the enemies' heads in and get it over with.
Well, when you were doing that, were you beating all the enemies in one turn?
No, it would take a couple turns.
Because what I noticed was when you beat all the enemies in one turn, you get bonus XP for that.
Really?
Yeah, I get bonuses for it.
Yeah, if you already know the enemy's weak points, you can probably do that more effectively than just attack.
And I think if you take no damage, you get like bonus job points. I think, or something like you get bonuses the better you do in the battles. So there's, using that system to quickly finish it and take no damage is really beneficial.
And actually, while you were talking, Eric, I thought of something because I recently went back to Persona 4 finally to keep playing, and I also played a little bit of the Bravely default demo as well. And the battles, in a strange way, kind of remind me of like Persona 4 battles in the sense that like your first encounters with enemies before you know their weaknesses are typically kind of stressful, like a little bit long, as you're kind of experimenting, trying to figure out what weaknesses are. And then once you nail it, you sort of figure out how to take enemies down in one turn or 2 turns, and that helps you get bonuses. And just thinking about it, the systems are kind of similar in that sense.
What a reply!
Drop the bomb.
So is this a game that you would potentially pick up, Cheesy, or is this demo made you go, I ain't interested no more?
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I'm kind of over the whole orthodox active time battle Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
You're killing me, Cheesy. You are killing me.
Appealing to me about this game is more of the character and world design.
Right.
Though, I mean, the way that the worlds are laid out in this game, you've got your villages and your dungeons that we've seen thus far, at least. The village that you went to is like this castle on a hill with the town kind of spreading out along the cliffs leading down. And it seems like a series of like paper cutouts all kind of assembled together in a 3D fashion. And then characters, look like they're just kind of popping out of the background there when they are standing on that background. The dungeons, however, there's this cave dungeon that's like 3 stories high that you have to climb up out of, and it's all rendered in 3D, and you're walking around in it. It's nothing overly complex, but it has a nice 3D visual look to it.
Okay, so apparently there's a 5th demo coming.
Yeah.
Anybody know what's going to be in it, or is it?
Well, let's see. The first demo, Let Us Walk Right.
That was incredible, by the way.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, the ability to walk right is like the best thing in an RPG. And then the second demo was like shops and menus. Then the third demo gave us battles. The 4th demo was walk around and use the jobs. I think in the 5th demo they might sing a song.
Song and dance number. It turns into a musical. Or you get to go on an AR date with like the female characters. I don't even know anymore.
Each demo had an AR demo to it, where if you print out this card from the website and sit down and have your 3DS look at it, it'll start this AR sequence with the character that they're introducing.
Did you do any of those?
Yeah, I printed all of them out and watched them.
Oh, you printed them out. Did it turn out okay when you printed them? Well, what I'm asking is, because like when I did, I was lazy and I just used my computer screen. And I'm doing the first one. I was just using my computer screen. And I'm doing the first one. And the woman starts, the girl, she starts talking. But I can't see her on my 3DS.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving around my room. And like all of a sudden, I just see a flash of her panties staring at me.
You know what your problem is?
Yes.
Your computer screen is standing up vertically, right?
Yeah.
You have to print it out and set it horizontally.
So that's how they hide the panties. Okay.
Yeah, it's assuming that you're printing it out and setting it on a flat surface.
Fair enough. But yeah, like all of a sudden it's just like, oh, underwear. Okay, cool.
That's a
great way to market a game.
That's a great tip though for people, isn't it? If they want to see pants.
Oh God!
For all the perverts.
Yeah. An actual good tip for the game is hold down the A button while everyone is executing their commands, and it'll make the battles go faster.
Yeah, I like the fast forward. That's nice too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It does that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So 3D wise, how is it?
It looks nice.
It's good. It's very clean.
Yeah, all of the characters have that super deformed chibi look to them, which is a bit incongruous given the Ring-a-Bell character who has this big, gruff, burly voice. So to hear that coming out of this cute little character, it's like, what?
Is the music for this is? I know the music is quite beautiful.
Yes, it's very good.
Is this something? I know, Elliot, you like to pick up soundtracks. Is this a soundtrack that you'd pick up?
Probably. I mean, I don't typically make soundtrack decisions unless I know the composer ahead of time or I've played through the whole game already. In this case, it's looking like I'm probably going to end up buying it. I might actually get the...
For what reason?
Maybe I might get the special edition of the game. Like that crazy,
for what
stupidly
reason?
expensive version of the game.
Is the composer somebody you know? Or
no.
Is it just
actually,
because of the music you've heard and you've gone, wow, I really like this music?
It's just very good. I mean, the whole game, and part of why it appeals to me so much is that it does remind me of, the Super Famicom Final Fantasies, which, honestly were my favorite. So being able to go back to that in sort of a new form with a new spit of shine is very exciting for me, especially after the last few Final Fantasies, which didn't really do much for me. So
right. Cheesy, you played this on your LL, right?
Yes.
Do you still have the regular DS, 3DS?
I still have it, but all of my data's been moved over. So.
Right. Crap. Yeah, I was going to ask you how did it look? Because I haven't booted it up.
There was nothing wrong with it.
Right, because I know like last week you said that you could the interlacing was much more noticeable because you got the
insulation.
No, interlacing.
It's not interlaced. It's a screen door effect.
Yeah, okay, but the screen, you know what I mean? It's got the lines that go across the screen, right?
Right.
So did they not bug you at all, or?
I mean, generally I play with the 3D cranked up, so I'm looking into the field of view. Uh-huh. I'm not focusing right onto the surface of the screen.
Right.
So generally I don't notice the screen door so much.
Okay. I mean, I have it playing right now on my LL, and it's really not that noticeable. I mean, you kind of have to be looking for it.
Right, okay.
When you have the 3D on, so it's not an issue.
Okay, Eric, did you pick up the LL?
No, I'm still Mr. Poor with all original.
Okay, but are you thinking of picking her up? I mean, having seen people's impressions?
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah, nice color, nice special edition maybe.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's move on.
Onward.
Oh, my mouse is awoke. Excellent.
Again, thanks to me.
Yeah, all because of you. Okay, because of you, Elliot. Let's kick into Persona the Golden.
Yeah, we're back again.
You went back because of?
Because I finally completed Nayuta no Kiseki.
Oh, congratulations.
Ooh. Thank you.
How many hours?
It was 24 and a half hours.
Wow.
So for an action RPG, quite a nice chunk of time.
Where did you get the time to play this? Because you're at work.
Well, I'm at work, but I'm also not doing anything at work during the summer because I have no class.
Okay, so you're playing in the staff room?
Well, I have to go into the Board of Education in the summer, and they put all the foreigners in this tiny room upstairs, and they basically tell us to do whatever we want for 8 hours, because out of sight, out of mind. And so, they're totally fine with us watching movies or going to sleep or playing games, whatever. It's just sometimes it's hard to do because it's such a small, cramped room that, it just kind of sucks the air out of you. But when I go home, because I don't have a whole lot, going on during the summer weekdays, I just really got into Nayuta no Kiseki last week, and every day I was putting in quite a few hours. And the final chunk of the game, the final chapter, was about 5 hours long. And I literally I woke up that day, I grabbed my PSP off right next to me, right next to my futon, and I just played straight for 5 hours laying down and didn't get up until 3 in the afternoon.
From waking up.
Yep.
Wow.
And it was just a hell of a climax. I shed tears multiple times.
What?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, Falcom at their best in these RPGs write really moving stories. And I didn't think I was going to be quite as grabbed by the cast of Nayuta no Kiseki because it's an action RPG and you spend a little less time with the characters. But by the end of the game, I was totally attached to them, and some of the things that were happening were just very either would warm your heart or just tear it apart. And so I was kind of shuffling back and forth between tears of joy and tears of intense sorrow. And then by the time the credits rolled, it was tears of happiness. But it was just a really great experience. And I was thinking about it, and I feel like it's the sort of game that you could give to someone who's always been interested in Falcom, and this is the kind of game that would turn them into a fan. One of our listeners, Hasemo, a buddy of mine, he's never really been a Falcom fan. He hadn't really tried many of the games, but he really got into Nayuta no Kiseki. When he finished it, he was talking about how, this is the sort of game that can convert people into fans. It just has the right level of difficulty, and because you can change the difficulty at any time in the game, provided you're not in an action stage, you could, adjust it to high, you can adjust it to medium, adjust it to easy. Which is really nice for newcomers to the genre. But it's just a very, very fun game. Right now, it might just be my game of the year.
Wow.
But this is
have a
hard
fight with Eric.
Because I also really loved Kid Icarus. I completely fell in love with that game. But right now, it's definitely one of the runners, for sure.
Oh, okay. But so you went through a whole wide range of emotions while playing it.
Oh yeah.
I would have loved to have watched that.
It was one of those things where I could not play it in front of other people because I don't want them seeing me tearing up over a video game.
Right.
I'm literally laying on my futon on my back. I have my headphones in, and I'm just wiping my eyes this is such good kids. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys experienced that?
Crying for video games?
Yeah.
You guys hear of Steins Gate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good man.
I finished that on a train leaving Kyoto, and I was you guys know Medi. He was kicking me the whole time and laughing at me because I was crying.
Medi?
Yeah, Medi. we were riding the train back, and he's on Twitter. He's dude, Eric's crying while he's playing this dating sim game.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let it out then because I wasn't going to let this out. But Medi cried while watching Batman.
What?
That's fair. No, that's fair. I didn't cry, but I was oh yeah.
No, I wasn't too sure what was going on because he was so many emotions were flying through him while watching it. He was on the edge of his seat. His arms are up and down. He's laughing, and then the next minute I'm like, is he crying? And he was totally crying in the movie. And when it finished, I said, dude, are you alright? And he was like, yeah, I've been crying, man. I was laughing and then crying, and I was like, hang on, you just been crying watching Batman? But yeah, totally did. So yeah, okay, he laughed at you when we were playing Steins Gate, but he cried watching Batman.
To be fair though, Eric, I totally understand where you're coming from.
This was the true ending. This was the truth, man. This was
we've talked about this game a little bit on the podcast before, but it's a visual novel adventure game. and it's just really, really good. And the story is just really interesting, and you get really attached to the characters by the end. And you will shed tears. If you have emotions, if you are a human being, you will shed tears.
Dude, since I became a father, I don't know, I've just become, like, weak. Everything makes me cry. I don't know why. Eric, have you found that?
Dude, just today on Twitter, someone retweeted something, and it was like, "This is freakier than an alien." Like, you know, this is a human baby skull, and I see this picture of it, like of a human baby skull, and I'm like, "Oh, that's like I have a baby."
Yeah, because you can totally relate to it, right?
Exactly. Like this isn't weird. This is a baby. I have one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely understand, man.
Yeah. No, I've become a wuss as well, watching movies as well. I remember when I went back to the UK about 3 years ago, something like that, 4 years ago. Can't quite remember when. But it was after I became a father. I started crying watching, do you know that Will Smith movie, 7 Pounds?
Oh, yeah.
I heard of that.
Yeah, that just took me over the edge. I was like, what? I was on a plane crying in front of everyone. I got nowhere to go. It's crap. I was in the middle aisle as well. I had nowhere to go. There was like 2 people either side of me. It's like,
oh man.
Yeah, I was like, crap.
Sorry, guys. Don't mind me. I'm just letting out my emotions.
Yeah. I love you guys. Yeah, so yeah, that was weird. But anyways.
Oh, yeah, I've been on Kiseki. Really emotional.
Right. Okay, so the Golden.
Yes. So I'm back to Persona the Golden. Last I left, I was around like the 46-hour mark, I guess, from what I could tell. Now I'm at the 50-hour mark. I restarted it yesterday, so I've gotten 4 hours in between like last night at 1 a.m. and today.
50 hours, and you're still not finished? That's a hell.
Yeah, it took me about like a minute or two when I started playing to get back into the flow of things and get really obsessed again. But once I got obsessed again, I ended up doing that thing I do where I just lay down and don't move for a while just playing my Vita.
Didn't cry, did you?
No, not yet, but I'm getting to a point where I am totally going to shed tears.
As you were getting back to your characters.
It was nice, man. It was like seeing old friends, because, you know, I have Persona 4 Arena, and I haven't touched the story mode. Ooh. Because it takes place after, you know, the first game. So I don't want to spoil anything for myself, and it's driving me crazy because I keep hearing how great it is, and all I'm playing is the online mode. So I was like, I need to finish the Golden as soon as possible, or I'm going to throw myself out a window. But I can already tell I'm coming up on one of the more emotional moments in the game, and I know I'm going to have waterworks when it happens. So
can you please...
maybe I'll take a picture of myself crying.
No. What you need to do is like get on your Mac and play it in front of your Mac and switch your webcam on and just live stream
it. Definitely not.
Just live stream it. Just get like direct feed from your Vita. Plug it into your Mac and so everyone can hear what you're watching and just have your reactions on Twitter. You'll get millions of hits. And
I'm sure
monetize it, yeah? Monetize it and make money from it.
Make money from my tears. I'm sure the listeners who have played Persona 4 know exactly where I am in the game at this point. But yeah, it's you know, I've talked about the Golden extensively before, me and Kyle have, but it's just a really fantastic upport of the game. It's by far the definitive version of Persona 4. You know, I went back to it again and I was still surprised by how good it looks compared to the PlayStation 2 version, which I actually have a copy of, and I put it into my PlayStation 2 just to compare, and it's kind of hilarious how different they are. Because you don't get that impression when you're actually playing it on the Vita.
Right.
You think it sort of looks like a PlayStation 2 game, and then you look at the actual PlayStation 2 game, and you're like, oh, this is much better. But yeah, it's just a fantastic experience on the go, especially a long game like that where you can just turn it on and off whenever you want.
Right. Okay, cool. Eric, I'm going to jump into time travelers because I know we've talked about this before, but
yeah.
I don't think Elliot had anyone to bounce off of.
No, I was all alone.
You're all alone. So you want to get up and dirty with it?
I can get a little dirty if you like.
Yeah.
Eric, get dirty.
I played it while I was struggling with the pain of flying, so there's some blackout periods, I think, just from the pain of flight. But
so actually, while you were playing Time Travelers, you were time traveling, going back in time.
I was going back in time, man.
Yeah.
Wait, Eric, before you get started, did you play any of Jiro Ishii's previous games?
He did Shibuya, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've gotten a few good chunks of hours into Shibuya, and I started up Time Travelers. And Time Travelers is a lot like Shibuya with little tweaks, and I got through almost through the first maybe the chapter, I guess they call it.
So like your first hour done, maybe?
Yeah, not quite done. I'm rounding it up, but so it's a lot like Shibuya. But I love it. Like I mean, you said you finished it, right?
I finished it, yeah.
I
cried.
You what?
I cried.
I mean, I just love these. Like these games are so because they are straight up visual novels. But I just love how they do it because it has that choose your adventure feel to it, but just like how I guess you could say like the pages would change depending on where you read first. You know what I mean? Mm. Like what you read, what choices you make determine how the other stories flow. Yeah. And it's just so interesting. And I just I spend so much time I try to see everything in these games. And that's just so much. You didn't do that, right? You just went through a path and beat it.
For Time Travelers, for the most part, I would see everything. But by the time I got to the last quarter of the game, I was way too engrossed to split off and do all the extra stuff while I was playing. So I just shot straight to the end.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just at the whole. I want to see all the different things. I want to see if someone's going to die if I do this instead of doing the thing that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And it's just so cool with all the way they just flow the stories. But it's very much like Shibuya was, which I like because just a different story.
And the thing that surprised me the most is it really doesn't feel like a level 5 game at all. And it's kind of a shame.
That's because it's good, right?
Exactly. It's kind of a shame that it is a level 5 game because that kind of curses it to never sell well. But I mean, the numbers were really low as we talked about before, and it's kind of a shame because I really had a fantastic time with the game. I thought it started off a little bit not slow. The game is never slow, but it was a little bit. Maybe the first hour was a little bit too scattered around. I wasn't feeling attached to any of the characters at first.
Did you have the assist mode on for the first hour?
Yes, I did. Just because I thought the sprites were really cute.
Yeah, they are adorable. But yeah, I think that kind of slows it down too because it's a lot more friendly at the start than I think Shibuya was. Shibuya had that too, but even then, this is a lot more trying to ease you into how the game plays.
If you press start, you go to a menu. Thank you, little 8-bit pixel art.
Yeah.
But after maybe the first hour or two, though, the pacing really ramps up and you really start to grow attached to these characters. And my final playtime, I think, was around 12 or 13 hours. And for a game like this that is, there's a lot of full motion cutscenes in addition to the visual novel aspects. I was really surprised by how long it ended up being. I was expecting a 5-hour experience. So.
Right.
Are you playing this on the 3DS or the Vita, Eric?
I picked it up for Vita.
Okay, good. Okay, just wondering because there's also there's a demo on the Japanese Vita store now as well.
Okay.
Just in case anyone's interested in having a look at it, if you've got a Vita, if you've got a Japanese account, you can go on the Vita store and check out the Vita.
And Eric, I talked about this a few weeks ago when I first beat it, but I'm wondering if you'd agree with me on this. I think it's a great game for intermediate Japanese learners because everything has furigana.
Yes.
And you can essentially find the readings for every single kanji that appears in the game. And I don't know if that ever crossed your mind either while you were playing, where it's just this might be a good game to recommend to people who maybe have Japanese, but they're not necessarily confident enough to go full on into a really super difficult Japanese game.
Oh, definitely, and especially with the huge chunk of voice acting that this has in it.
Yeah.
It's not all voice acted, but Shibuya has no voice at all. And I don't even think it has a lot of the furigana, so that slows me down in that game a few times here and there. But no, this one's a lot more smoother in that regard.
And I mean, yeah, all all dialogue is voiced in this game. None of the stuff the internal monologues are voiced, but that's pretty typical for this kind of show.
Right, yeah.
You need to play more of it, man.
I do. I
there's so much I want to talk about.
I'll get to it. I'll finish it up. Dragon Quest. So you
want to go back and play it now?
No, I'm good. I can chat.
You sure? You're not shaking, are you? I want to get off.
I'm not playing it right now. How about that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, I did.
An hour later, we hear the clicking.
Sorry, what?
I picked up a music strategy game called
Theater Rhythm?
No, Orgarhythm. Yeah.
How is that?
On the Vita. I have no idea because I'm saving it for my plane flight.
You tease.
Yeah, I picked it up because it says it's a music strategy game, and I was like, how does that? I'm just interested to see how it works. I did boot it up though, just to not make sure it worked, but just to make sure there was it didn't need a patch or something, just in case something was broken. And guess what?
Something was broken.
It needed a patch. Yeah, something was broken. It basically said additional content can only be played once. So basically, it fixed the content that could only be played once. So I don't know, no idea how that got past the QA department, but yeah, somehow it did. So additional content you download from the store could only be played once, and that was it.
So
wait,
how
much was this?
I paid 3,480 yen.
And that's for a physical copy?
That's for the physical copy, yes.
Oh, not bad.
For a new
Yeah.
game.
So, sorry. Well, I am planning on selling it when I return. I just wanted to play something for the plane. So I picked it up, and the whole thing is in English as well.
Oh, really?
It's all localized in English as well. Yeah, if you got your Vita set up in English, the whole thing's in English, including the tutorials.
So XC already finished the localization on that, I guess, because they're the ones bringing it over.
Yes. So yeah, so if you've got a Japanese account and you want to get it, or you can't wait to pick it up or wait for the US or the European release date, you can always import the Japanese version, or you can download it from the store. But yeah, it's all in English. I was actually surprised, but I haven't played it. I just switched it off for just make sure that it didn't need any patches, which it did. So it's going to be sitting in my Vita for the plane flight.
If I remember correctly, the head of the game is Tak Hirai, who was the main programmer on Shenmue, and I believe he also worked on Space Channel 5. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Right. I know literally nothing about this game other than it said it's a music strategy game, and I like music. I like rhythm games. I'm not too heavily interested in strategy, but it's a nice combination. So I'd like to see how it works. So
I get some Pikmin vibes from it a little bit. So
yeah, as I said, I have no idea. I do know somebody who picked it up and sold it already, so I'm not too sure if that's good.
That sounds good. That sounds great.
It sounds interesting,
but
right?
These are the types of games that can kind of be divisive, I think.
Yeah, it either clicks with you or it doesn't. It's one of those type of games. If it doesn't click with you, it's not going to click with you. It doesn't matter how long.
The reviews in Famitsu and even in Dengeki have been like 8s and 7s, which means that it could be anything. Yeah. Those scores that tell you absolutely nothing about a game. Oh, it's a 7. What does that mean for you?
It's a game.
So that means it's something you can play.
Yeah. Is there a demo for it? No?
There's no demo for it, no. I mean, it's a game that I can play with headphones, and I really like playing handheld games with headphones, because it just immerses you into the game, So I'm on a flight for like 13 hours. I need something to immerse myself in. So yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna pick it up at some point, just because I love these kind of quirky, weird games, and I always like to give them a shot when I can. So, and the price is right, I think. So.
Yeah. I mean, Gale are selling a lot of the Vita games now for like 3,000 yen.
Yeah.
So like Monkey Ball's in there for 3,000 yen. That like Resistance is in there for 3,000 yen. They've got a lot of games in there for like 3,000 and under.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, give it a shot if you see it. But as I said, I haven't played it yet, so I couldn't actually tell you anything about it.
No bigs.
Other than it's my plain game. Well, I don't think it's going to last 13 hours either. But hey, whatever. Okay, so I think we should move on.
Yeah.
That's games.
So everybody's favorite. Zasshi Time.
So, Steven, what have you got for Zasshi? Oh, wait, he's not here.
He's not here. Zasshi Time this week is going to be a little bit short, or maybe a lot of bit short, because there's just nothing to talk about. So
why is that? What do you think the reason that is?
TGS is coming up.
Yes, I thought so.
So yeah. Like the past few weeks, the front section of Famitsu has been taken up by game creators talking about their like hopes and dreams for the industry. And just like the past couple of weeks, they're saying things that really have no inherent meaning to them. Like, for instance, Hirono Kei, who is working on Tokitoa, that 2D HD animation RPG that looks really awkward. He says, "Tsunagari o hirogeru koto de game no sekai mo hirogaru." So, like, by broadening the connections in games, like, the game world will get bigger. Basically, it's just a bunch of fluff.
I want that game now. Why would you want that game now, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I like fluff.
The producer for Senran Kagura Burst, the Boob Ninja game, that I know Cheesy's really excited about.
Oh boy, oh boy.
He said, "Jibun ni shika tsukurenai game wo tsukuritai." I want to make games only I can make.
What does that even mean? That's what every game creator wants to make.
But he really wants to do it.
I guess that's cool, whatever. Chiyomaru Shikura, who is the head of Mages, the company that created Robotics Notes and also created Steins;Gate, he said Tokyo Game Show ga turning point ni naru. So Tokyo Game Show is going to be the turning point.
That's basically when they're making their game announcement.
Yeah.
It's
So
like a
basically,
hairy deal.
Nothing. So moving on from that bit of fluff.
No, Elliot, please read us more in your Japanese. Soak us in the Japanese voices, please.
In your sarcastic Japanese voice, please.
This is a good one. Yoshito Okamura, who made Ulterior, what is it? Asha, there we go.
Okay.
Recent alchemy game. He says, "Tsugi no Ulterior mo okiku kaemasu." The next Ulterior game will feature big changes.
Wow.
Great.
What insight, what insight. I love these Japanese developers.
What is the last good one? Oh, okay. The producer of Biohazard 6, Resident Evil 6, Yoshiaki Hirobayashi. Nichijou no naka no hinichijou kanjirareru game wo tsukuritai. I want to make a game that, like, within your everyday life will make you feel like you're, I don't even know, how would you even, I want you to, like, feel wonders beyond your everyday life. Which is basically the hope of, like, every game.
I want to make a video game.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to make a video game one day, guys. Thanks, game creators. You have taught me nothing. So moving on, the big feature this week that I'm sure everybody's really excited for is a new AKB48 game coming out.
Oh, dude. Yes. I've already put my pre-order in.
Plus me for the 3DS. And it releases on October 25th for 5,000.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yes.
This is a perfect Halloween game, because let me tell you.
It's scary.
These characters scare the hell out of me. I'm going to go to sleep tonight and have nightmares of AKB48 members trying to eat my face off. And the reason why... No. The reason why is because all the characters in the game are Miis.
They're really creepy Miis.
Oh, God.
Like AKB48 Miis who sing and dance because it's a rhythm game and kind of like an Idol Master-esque game. And they're all really, really creepy. And my biggest thing with this is, if you're an AKB48 fan, one of the reasons you're a fan is because you think the girls are cute. And playing this game is like an affront to that cuteness.
No, man, I like the music. Man. I'm in it for the music.
Eric, just leave. You're done.
You've got all the CDs, right?
Oh, you mean, no, I don't have, 2,000 copies of the same CD in my closet? No, not at all.
That's creepy.
No, I don't.
The big mode they're talking about in this game is the Life Me mode. Okay, that's actually what it's called, Life Me mode.
Wow. Is this for people who already have lives or who need a life?
Now, let me tell you. It takes place over a 3-year period, in-game 3 years, and it basically follows you from, like, training to recruitment into AKB48. And once you get into AKB48, you can do such amazing things as concerts, pretty normal, handshake meetings, okay, yes. Weird stuff, and rock, scissors, paper, Janken tournaments, because that's, a big part of being an AKB48.
Now, do you have the same chances of actually getting into AKB48 as the real applicants do?
I don't know the details. It all seems very complicated.
Because I can imagine that thousands of girls try out to join AKB48 and very, very few get in.
No, I think every single female person in Japan is an official member now. I think that just passed the other day.
If you're a female, you're in one of these 48 groups.
AKB 48 million.
Seriously. But no, actually, the way the game works is, you try out to be an AKB48, and if you fail in game, you can never boot up the game again.
Really? It self-destructs?
It self-destructs.
Nice.
That sounds quality.
Also burns your hands, so you can never play video games ever again. It's really terrible, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, it just looks awful, and I encourage all of you to look up the screenshots of this game because it will give you nightmares, and I want to be responsible for your nightmares. Next, in Dengeki, because Dengeki also came out this week, a little bit more on X Troopers, the Lost Planet spin-off from Capcom that I'm actually excited about.
Okay.
We talked about last week how the 3DS version will only have local multiplayer and the PS3 version will have online multiplayer, which was a pretty big bummer. But this week in Dengeki, they talk a lot about the subquests, like the side quests you can do throughout the game. And apparently a lot of these you get through talking to NPCs that are hidden. So, you run around talking to all the NPCs at your home base, and each of them has kind of their own lives and their own relationships with other characters, so you can run around, like, solving relationship problems and, like, taking quests and, that kind of stuff, which I think is really cool. Adds kind of a neat action RPG-esque element to the game. And also, it talks a little bit about the multiplayer modes. There's this thing called the VR missions, and what happens is as you clear the game, you unlock more VR missions. It doesn't specifically say whether you're unlocking, like, multiplayer versions of the single-player quests, but I imagine it will probably be a mix of, like, original VR mission quests and also quests you've already completed. And when you go into that mode, you can bring in 3 friends to face off against, giant monsters and the like together, which I think is pretty cool. It sounds like they're pouring a lot more into this game than I initially expected when they first announced it, which is funny because the Lost Planet franchise is a series that I've really wanted to like for a long time, but with every installment, every time I get excited, they just kind of crush me. Lost Planet 2, I was kind of expecting to be Monster Hunter with guns, and instead it was just kind of a pile of ideas that never really came together. It was a really big disappointment for me. So I thought I was done with the franchise, but EX Troopers looks really unique and interesting. And then, of course, I have to talk about Falcom at some point on this podcast, in addition to Nayuta and Kiseki. So, East Foliage Ocean in Salsetta, the worst name ever. Falcom's not so great with English, that's okay. Has a 4-page article, and they don't really talk about anything particularly mind-blowing except for some stuff about subquests. You can pick up side quests at a bar, and they have like a message board, and you can pick it off there. And apparently, through these subquests, you'll get money in the normal stuff, but you can also get information and sort of plot stuff that you wouldn't get otherwise in the main quest, which kind of reminds me of the Kiseki games. So I'd love to see like a system more akin to that in the East games. And additionally, this is for East fans primarily, but apparently we'll also be seeing like flashbacks of Adol, the main character, as a child, like memories of him as a little boy, which I don't think we've ever really gotten. So I think that's actually kind of cool. But other than that, that's pretty much it for Zasshi Time this week. There's literally nothing going on.
Wow. What are they actually selling in this paper? I mean, in these magazines, is that like is it just full of blank pages?
I mean, it's a lot of images and a lot of like talking about, oh, this is a game where you can push buttons, That's what a lot of these previews are typically. Like they're promoting like the new images, and then just talking about stuff people already know. Like in this game, you can talk to NPCs.
Yes.
Oh my god! Wow. You can buy weapons.
Really?
Shocking.
I mean, there's a new Soul Sacrifice article, but it's literally the same information from Famitsu last week. Only now it's Dengeki publishing it. So, because he's every 2 weeks, so they kind of regurgitate a lot of the information that Famitsu gets because it's a weekly magazine.
Alrighty, well, let's jump out of the crappy magazines then, and get into crappy numbers.
maybe crappy numbers, maybe okay numbers.
I think they're pretty good.
Fairly impressive, actually.
Yeah, they're fairly impressive, actually, yeah. Cheesy, you want to go ahead and do these? Because last week you sounded like you enjoyed yourself.
All right, here we go. Coming in at number 1, Dragon Quest X with 367,148 units.
Yes.
That's quite impressive. That.
I mean, I saw some people on GAF blowing up thinking it was like the worst thing ever, but again, you really can't compare MMO numbers to the normal like mainline series. That's just not a fair comparison.
I was not expecting that many copies to be sold. I was expecting maybe 100,000, and I was way off.
Bless.
Yeah, bingo. Number 2.
New Super Mario Bros. 2 with
Yeehaw.
213,547 units.
Wow, so that's a grand total now of 621,000 units.
Is that for a 2D Mario? Here, I mean, what were the numbers? I wonder for the original New Super Mario Brothers, which was like still selling as of not too long ago. I mean,
what was that?
Because I know 2D Mario games here sell way, way, way better than 3D ones do. So these numbers seem like they're kind of low. Like that seems like it was kind of a big drop. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how it sells in the long run.
Well, they always seem to be. I mean, after the initial month or so, I mean, they're always there or thereabouts, like in the top 20. They're like a slow burner.
Yeah.
After the first month, but they're always there and around, and especially when a new machine comes out, they all of a sudden appear again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not surprised really. So it's always going to be there. Okay, number 3.
Pokemon Black and White 2 with 66,758 units.
This came out in, what was it, June?
Yeah.
And it's still going?
The game keeps on giving.
What is it? Was it 2.5 mil?
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
Raking in the money.
Yeah, it is.
Number 4.
Oni Training with 31,792 units.
That's I actually would have thought that would have sold more, but
well, it actually went up on the chart. It was number 7 last week, and now it's number 4.
Right? Yeah, true. But I mean, I just wonder if these numbers they're just down retail or they download. It doesn't say, does it?
We have no idea if it includes download versions.
Okay, number 5.
Just Dance Wii 2 with 29,602 units.
Well, it's actually this is Ubisoft, right? But it's published by Nintendo. But their actual playlist of Japanese tunes is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they licensed a lot of Japanese music for this.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of the dances or the dance routines from the actual groups as well. I'm fairly impressed with the way they've done it. I mean, then you look at Dance Central that Microsoft basically did nothing for the Japanese market.
Oh, really?
But Ubisoft and Nintendo really worked well with on this title to get Japanese groups in there, and as well as Japanese content, as talking about the dance routines and stuff. So it's fairly impressive.
Lots of AKB48 then.
Yeah, I think Kata's in there as well. I know it's Korean and that, but yeah, it's my worst nightmare. Right, okay, number 6.
Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition with 21,001 units.
21,001. Okay, cool.
I wonder who that one was.
Certainly not me.
I don't think Cheesy wants to say this title. So Elliot, what's this
I'll
next?
say it anyway.
They're not going to pay you.
Persona 4 Arena sold to 20,477 lost souls.
Well, this is Japan, though. Remember, these are not the numbers that were going to hurt ever. It's the numbers back at home that would hurt.
Yeah, so that's a total of 148,961 units in Japan thus far.
Yes.
Which is down 84% from launch week. So.
Oh my god!
But I mean, it is a fighting game, though, and this is typically the kind of. I'm surprised it actually held on and maintained its presence on the top 10. Quite frankly, because fighting games kind of slip really quickly.
Yeah, off a cliff.
Yep.
Well, 84% is kind of off a cliff, though, right?
I mean, it is, but off a cliff would be like in fighting game terms would be like 5,000 units.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I mean, Blaze Blue, the last fighting game that ArcSys developed for consoles, I think it did like 30,000 its opening week. So, yeah, and that's a fairly popular franchise over here. So, fighting games do not sell well here, which is why Persona 4 Arena was the top opening fighting game in the last 5 years.
Okay, in at number 8.
All Kamen Rider Generation 2 on Nintendo DS with 20,459 units.
I think one of our listeners bought this one, right?
Yeah. Just another otaku, I believe.
Yeah, just another otaku. He bought that, so... Damn. Well done, sir. You contributed to the numbers. Number 9.
Digimon World redigitized on PSP with 17,508 units.
I'm surprised by how well this is selling. Like, it's already got 134,362 units overall. So, yeah, I mean, it's been up on the charts for like 3 weeks now.
And here's one that's gone from number 22 to number 10.
I wonder why.
This is the reason, the main reason this has come in is because the Dragon Quest, right? People buying new machines. So what is it? Number 10?
Wii Sports Resort with 15,706 units.
Wow.
That's so random.
Yeah, I know.
It's not really, but...
Well, for a total, though, of 1,012,372 units. So it just broke 1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody got that bonus, right?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm going to buy Dragon Quest and Wii Sports Resort.
Well, they bought Dragon Quest and they go, no, I want to play something. I want to play like
something
a game,
with the family, I guess.
Something with the family, right?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
They need to justify the purchase of this machine to their mom or something. So, Mom, you can play this. So, yeah. They bought
well,
Wii
that
Sports
was chosen after Just Dance Wii 2 and Kirby's Dream Collection.
Oh, that's true.
Just Dance 2, what did it go from? It went from number 6... So it's number 5, but this has gone from 22 to 10. You know,
that's crazy.
There's nothing in there that's jumped 12 places. But yeah.
Well, to be fair, at the lower echelons there, the difference in sales numbers among the ranks is a lot lower.
Yeah, but you know the whole reason why this has gone from 22 to 10, right?
It's the Dragon Quest bump.
Yeah, the Dragon Quest bump. And how many units did the Wii sell because of Dragon Quest? It went from last week was 10,000 units to...
It went from 10,170 to 41,415 units.
Quadruple.
Wow, not bad. Yeah.
Quadruple. Wow.
For a system that's been dead for like the past few months. That's
past year, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's like one game a month at this rate.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If that. But, I mean, the total sales now of the Wii in Japan is 12.5 mil.
And of that, only 30,000 people needed to buy it for Dragon Quest X.
Yeah.
So we're pretty late in the cycle here, folks.
Yeah, just a bit. But actually destroying everybody was the 3DS with... Go on, how many units have they got?
That's 124,415 units.
Damn!
Still hanging on from that LL bump.
Wow.
Damn. That's crazy.
Which is funny. It's doing really well here. And from what I gather, just looking on message boards and hearing what people have to say, it's not doing so great in, Western territories. It's just kind of, there. It sells, but it's not lighting stores on fire the same way it is here.
Well, Japan's different to everywhere else because, I mean, It seems to be, as all you guys know, Japan's handheld-centric, everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not surprised with the numbers for Japan.
I mean, hell, it turned me into a handheld-centric, I primarily game on my handhelds.
Right. I mean, the amounts of people now, because of smartphones as well. I mean, everyone's playing it now. You mean, I went today... I was out today with the families doing some shopping, and we went into McDonald's. I don't know why. Hey, my wife complained to me. She said, "Let's go get some food." I was like, "Okay," and she said, "She went, let's go to McDonald's." I said, "Okay," and then she complained at me that I ordered a hamburger. I was like, "What else do you want me to?" What else can I get?
A mixed salad.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I was in there, and there was like old ladies playing flight games. There was like young kids playing like mobage, like just touch panel games. But
I mean, touching a screen, not playing a game.
But okay, but you know what I mean. But the amount of people who are playing just games on the go now is unbelievable because of smartphones. So this kind of translates across to
everything, like, pretty much.
To like the 3DS anyway. But yeah, it's amazing the amount of people that you see on a train, in a restaurant, just sitting there tapping away, playing some kind of game.
Well, the 3DS should be passing 7 million this week.
Yeah.
It's been out just over a year?
It's been a year and a half.
Year and a half now, right? Yeah.
And with Obon this week, there should be
there's
another
going to be a bump. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Actually, I bought a 3DS game today as well. Sweet Puricure.
What?
So where's your review? I'm sorry. I want to hear all about this.
Well, I bought it for my daughter for the flight.
Oh, yeah. No, totally.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Is there junk in?
I have no idea. She hasn't opened it. I said to her, "You're not allowed to open it until you get on the plane."
You should definitely play it ahead of time to make sure it's
acceptable.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's acceptable. If she can sit there and watch the anime, she can certainly play a video game with it. I'm not touching it. The only time I'll touch it is when I take it back to the store and sell it.
I want to hear a review next time, man. I want a review. I want full in-depth review on this.
Yeah. After everybody comes back from their summer shenanigans.
Can we get your daughter on to review
That's what I was going to say. I can get my daughter on to review it if you want. She can do it in Japanese.
Not in English?
Yeah, she could do it in English as well, but I think Japanese would be cuter because her Japanese is funny.
We'll have to translate it.
Yeah, well, I can do that, but yeah.
It could be a special feature.
Do it.
Do it. 7 out of 10. Anyways, numbers. Yeah, PS3 sold
13,944 units.
Just kind of coasting along.
Coasting along. I think it needs a price drop as well.
Probably,
honestly.
Yeah, TGS.
It's a little bit too pricey.
TGS is around the corner, so.
Yeah, it is.
So PSP.
11,824 units.
Also coasting along.
God, I just love it's like PS3, PSP,
and Vita.
Oh my.
9,038 units.
And we've dipped below 10,000 again, ladies.
Yeah, that's appalling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sony Japan have got a serious problem. They're pulling everyone else down.
I hope to God that TGS blows my mind.
Like E3
free Vita
did?
for everyone.
Free Vita, like the Oprah show. If you look under your chair, there's a free Vita taped to the bottom of it for everybody.
Oh my
Everyone just walks out.
Everybody just leaves.
Just leave. No thanks.
Oh, that would hurt.
Yeah, I don't want it. Keep it.
Can I sell this for a 3DS? Is that cool?
So, is it not obvious to Sony?
I'm sure it is at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, they're, despite what we're seeing, they're not stupid. Or
are we sure about that?
Proof? I would like to believe they're not stupid. You know, looking at the PSP numbers, I would like to believe they're not stupid. So I'm just hoping they have something, because I'm actually a happy Vita owner, but I understand that my happiness doesn't mean much if everybody else isn't happy. So it's just like, I want the system to succeed. I mean, who wants the system to fail? You know, nobody.
No, nobody does.
Except for fanboys. It's just like, I want system to succeed because that's more options, that's more games to play, that's more cool stuff potentially. You know, and I hate to see like a really great piece of hardware like this just like collapse. You know,
I really don't get it. I mean, if you look at those numbers, and then you look at how many they've sold since the machine was launched in December.
Not even 1 million.
Not even 1 million. I mean, then you look at games like, especially the Japanese side of Sony, they just don't seem to get it. I don't understand. Like Sound Shapes came out on the PlayStation, on the Vita and the PS3, right, last week.
Yeah, you buy one, you get both.
Yeah, you buy one and get both, yeah. So, for the amount of time that's been in development for, why hasn't that been translated day and day on the Japanese store as well?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, you know.
Why? I mean, that was ready for the Vita months ago, right? And then they decided to port it to the PS3. So why during that time hasn't that been localized during that time, so they can get it up? So at least people have got something to buy.
You know, these small titles too, people are more likely to buy them because they cost less too.
Yeah.
And it's more of like I'm curious about what this is, so I'll spend 1,000 yen to buy it. I'll spend 1,500 yen to buy it. And yeah, it's just a missed opportunity. And that's what's really frustrating for me.
I bought it, but I bought it from the US store because I'm not willing to wait for the Japanese to get off their ass and do something about it. Because
we still haven't even gotten a Jet Set Radio release date for Japan. I know they haven't even announced it for Japan.
I know, that's what I was about to bring up. They got Jet Set. They got the date and they got a price announcements as well. It was like $10, right?
Yeah, it's $10 for the Vita in America in October, I believe, for the Vita version.
3,000 yen in Japan, I'm sure.
We haven't even heard it from Final Fantasy X since last year.
That's right.
I am crossing my fingers they bring that to TGS, because that would just be a shame. Because
that's where it was announced last year. It was announced at TGS.
Yeah, I know.
A full year of radio silence on an HD up-res port. Really?
Why do you think the Japanese are so slow at this? I mean, even if you look at like the PlayStation Plus, like what the US get considered, and you can compare it against the Japanese, it's a total joke.
Completely is, yeah.
I don't know why anyone would have the Plus in Japan. I see no reason.
There's no reason to have it at all. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever to have it. I mean, I get the US one, yeah. No,
which is funny to me, too, because I think the PSN, like the store in Japan, has way better options in terms of like PlayStation 1 games and stuff like that, and even PS2 games now. There's a way better selection, you know, way better archive. But it's like, and like, I can imagine a PlayStation Plus for Japan being like incredible, you know, like awesome free classic Japanese games, stuff like that. I would be all on top of that, but nothing, you know.
They don't offer anything. Yeah. I mean, I did buy PlayStation Plus because I was hoping it was going to come to the equivalent of what the US and Europe was offering, but it didn't, so I just cancelled it. And I'm on my second year now of PlayStation Plus from the US, and now you're getting like basically free games every month.
Yeah, and you know, and that's worth the money for a lot of people.
Yeah, you got an instant games library. You know, so I mean, and Japan just doesn't offer it at all. I mean, they really need to say, "Is PlayStation 1 titles?" Because I think PlayStation 1 titles will actually help people purchase a Vita.
Oh, I'm waiting for that. That's
a big thing. Yeah, same. I'm really, really excited for it eventually. This summer, supposedly.
This summer.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah, I mean, are they going to announce that straight away or what?
Well, they said it was like someone announced it was like version 1.8 or whatever is going to be. But last I looked, it's like we're a heck of a lot of versions away from that.
Yeah, we're at 69, right? 169. Yeah. So is this something that they're just waiting for TGS or what?
I mean, they said they were going to release that this summer, like it was coming this summer, like specifically like.
Right. So what about the Heaven? They said there's the Vita Heaven. I mean, apparently it was meant to be like end of July, and then that time disappeared and nothing.
I think it was end of June. Actually.
Was it end of June?
Yeah, and then they delayed it. I think that's when the Nintendo Direct went up. That was like that was better than E3. And then they postponed it, and they haven't announced a date since. I'd imagine we're probably going to get it before TGS, though. It's like a pre-TGS sort of thing. They did promise big announcements, supposedly, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they will hold stuff away from TGS, though. I mean, does that make sense? I know Sony doesn't make sense much anymore, but.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there are a couple there as well. There's some third-party titles that could get announced that would sell in like the 200,000 range, I think, for units, like actual game units, like stuff like Super Robot Wars is kind of a guaranteed, you know, cool 100,000 or more. And they need to start announcing those kind of third-party titles. If they're not going to bring the Monster Hunter, they got to bring the proven successes. You know, Persona 4 was an example of that. That's the sort of game that was going to sell upwards of 200,000 no matter what, because, you know, Persona fans are going to buy it. It's a proven franchise. You know, Super Robot Wars is a proven franchise. If they can get tons of third-party titles to kind of flesh out the different genres, that's what they need to be going for. And I'm hoping that TGS is where they're like, look, all of these third-party titles.
Are you not afraid of Japan just becoming this machine of like just regurgitating everything they've already used like generations ago?
Hasn't it been?
That's not a singularly Japan thing, though. You know, like I'm getting that feeling from the American market as well, and the European market, and pretty much all of the markets. It feels like people are just regurgitating everything. You know, I feel like we really like to focus on Japan with this kind of stuff, but I think everywhere else is equally as guilty of doing the same thing. You know, it's just a matter of what genre you're into.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, when we keep arguing though, saying, "Oh, we need PS1 games, we need PS1 games," so we're not actually looking for new stuff. We just keep talking about what we want to see that's old. Are you not afraid of that just becoming more of a norm? And instead of like going out and making new stuff and new IP and stuff like that, just go out and regurgitate what they did 10, 15 years ago?
Well, you know, one thing is I have these PS1 games already. I bought them and was playing some with my PSP, and that was a feature my PSP had that my Vita doesn't. Mm. And that's pretty much that. Like, it's not like I really want PS1 games. Like, I want to play these games I own that I can't because on my Vita for some reason.
Right.
Well, and in my case, and I think the cool thing about releasing PS1 games, or in my case, I've been playing a lot of Disk Engine games, PC Engine games on my Vita lately. Because in Japan, you know, they sell the PC Engine games and you can purchase them and play them on your Vita. I like being able to go back and play games that maybe I never got a chance to play, and I don't have that hardware anymore. But now I can play it on the go wherever I want on a really nice screen.
Right.
Like, that's really cool to me. You know, I never played Grandia. You know, God forbid. One of like the classics for the PlayStation. And a couple of years ago, I bought Grandia off the PSN in Japan and started playing it on my PSP, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. You know, it's amazing when you encounter an older game that you never got around to and get to play it for the first time. It feels like you're transported back to that era, like that very special era of games to me. And you know, that's a really important feature for me, I think, because you know, new games aren't always going to be great. You know, sometimes there are tons of duds in a row, and being able to go back into the old libraries and find those hidden gems is something I think is absolutely necessary this generation.
I switched from iPhone to Android.
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
I switched from iPhone to Android.
Congratulations.
Yes, I think I should be congratulated on it because it's...
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's awesome. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's awesome.
Anyway.
So I got the Sony Xperia Arco HD, which is a PlayStation certified unit.
Wait. Those are actually making sales?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. Seems to be.
Wow.
I've seen a hell of a lot of people with them.
Oh, really? That's
Really?
cool.
Yeah, so it's a Saifu Keitai, they call it.
Oh, okay.
So you can have electronic money on your phone, so you can handle all of your like store purchases directly from your phone. So and it gives you basically a list of basically every electronic card that you can actually put money on, and basically you can have it on your phone and basically have everything on the phone instead of having like a million different cards. You can have it all on your phone and you can manage it all on your phone. So anyway, I got this Xperia Arco HD handset, and it's PlayStation certified. And I was thinking, oh, cool! I've already bought a load of PlayStation 1 games from the store, so they should just work. Guess what?
No,
they don't.
Of course not.
You have to buy them again.
You can't buy them
because it's not the same. The PlayStation certified is not the same as
no, but it logs
Vita,
it logs into your store. It uses the same PSN ID.
Wait, seriously?
I'm logged in as my PlayStation. It uses my PlayStation ID.
What?
And I'm not allowed to download any of the games I've downloaded. I need to purchase them all again.
That's nonsense.
So I'm like
not even separate accounts, but separate like. There's just...
They seem to be separate SKUs.
Wow.
But wait, I have a question, because from what I heard, most things aren't like actually available for the PlayStation certified stuff. Like there's a very small list of compatible games.
There is like there's like Destruction Derby and Jump and Flash and stuff like that. But I've purchased them. I've already got them.
Okay.
You know, I got them on my PlayStation, on my PS3. I downloaded them on my PS3, and I could play them. I could play them on my PSP, but I've got them on this phone. I log into the PlayStation Store, and I'm not allowed to download them. I need to repurchase them from the handset.
And see, that's weird because you can play them just fine between the PSP and like the PlayStation 3 and. Assumedly, between the Vita and the PS3 and the PSP, so it's weird that the cell phones are just different.
Yeah, so I'm kind of annoyed that if I want to go play them again, I need to pay for them again, which I don't see the point. I thought the whole point of having this unified online service was it works across the whole board, and it just doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm like, I want to play them, but I don't think I want to pay another 600 yen to play Jump and Flash.
So you haven't bought any at all, right?
No, I haven't bought any of them. I don't see why I should, because I've already paid for them. So I mean, for one, I tested them when I worked for Sony back in the day. I tested Jump and Flash. I don't want to like pay for it again, because I remember I bought the original one from Japan, and then it came to the UK, and then I was like lead tester on it, and then I bought it when I was in Japan from the PlayStation 1 store, but I don't see why I have to buy it again. So
that's a bummer.
I don't understand why, if they're going to tie this all together, why you have to repurchase stuff. It just doesn't make much sense. Like Sony, at the moment, they don't make much sense.
If you keep on rebuying the same game that you worked on, eventually you'll have spent more money on the game than you made.
Probably. Probably. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's just something. It was something I thought that was just going to be like, I wouldn't have to worry about. I was going to have to put it in, put my PSN ID in. There you go. Here's your download list. Oh, this is all of the stuff you can download. There you go. Download it. But no.
Bummer.
It won't even let you download it.
Lame.
Which is a bit of a joke. Anyways, I think we should move on to
questions.
Questions, yes, tweets and emails.
Yeah.
And the obligatory question from Crackalakin Z. He says, "Onigiri, fillings. What you have in the fillings? Rice ball. What you have in your rice ball filling?" He says, tuna mayo, umeboshi, or something else,
or none.
Something else,
or
nothing.
I'm tuna mayo.
Ugh.
I love tuna mayo. I love it. It's like sea chicken. You can't beat it.
That's so good. Yep, same here.
I'll take the tuna without the mayo.
Yeah, me and you, Cheesy. I'm high-fiving you.
Sacrilegious. That's just wrong.
I hate mayo. Sorry.
Yeah, mayo can go jump up.
Right into my belly.
We are anti-mayo brothers.
That's fine more for me.
I love mayo.
Oh, it's so good.
Mayo's
now,
so
if it was
good.
Just tuna,
I
would be all about that.
How about mayo and ketchup?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gross.
Damn, that's good, man. Especially with fries.
Oh,
mayo, anything can just... No.
Mayo, ketchup, and a little hot sauce.
Yeah.
Mayo, ketchup, and a little hot sauce. Oh, it's so good.
Eric, just no.
So good. So actually, question. Japanese mayo, for the one guy that actually likes mayo, the one respectable person of the group other than me. Japanese mayo, better than other mayos or no?
Yes.
It's so good, right?
Yes.
Equally as terrible.
You guys have got palates of homeless men, just like Steven.
Whenever I forget to say no mayo when I'm ordering food, I just cry to myself.
I think I gag a little bit every time.
You know what's the best is when the McRib comes to Japan. The sandwich is like just slathered with mayo as well. The barbecue sauce, so good. Oh, it's so good.
Eric, I'm gonna punch you this week.
So good.
Eric, I think you should order him a mayo sandwich when he gets there.
No, I'm gonna make him a special mayo sandwich.
Do you want to know why I hate mayo besides the fact that it's gross?
Because you're silly?
When I was 5 years old, in kindergarten, I remember I was at lunch, and one of my friends at the time, this is a very strong memory for me, he had a ham and cheese sandwich, but he had like a tremendous amount of mayo on it, right? And so he looks at me and he takes his sandwich and he opens it up like it's a mouth and goes, "I'm a mayo ham sandwich." And it was so traumatizing that I just started crying on the spot, and I refused to go anywhere near mayo for the rest of my life. And when I did get older and actually try to eat mayo, I discovered it was disgusting, so I didn't miss anything.
I'm hungry now.
Oh, mayo's amazing. I'm sorry, with ketchup is like the best thing in the world.
Mm. You mix it up, dip fries in there, so good.
My daughter, all she says is chon 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 chon, like dip 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 every time she sees it. It's like, yeah, you got the right thing. Right, okay. So, Elliot, go next.
Okay, from our listener Hazumo, are there any Japanese TV programs beside Game Center CX that you watch?
The news.
I can't remember the name, but it's that hide and seek show where like
what's that called?
Oh, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically a bunch of talent, like celebrities, are like set loose in this really big area. A lot of times like an empty village-esque area. And then these dudes in suits who look like they're agents from the Matrix, like hunt them down.
Oh, there's a 3DS game of this, right?
Run for money. Yeah.
There's a 3DS game came out about a month ago.
Yes. And it's hilarious because they take it so seriously and they're, like hiding and using stealth to like get around these agent guys. And as soon as they see the celebrity, they just start running at them like robots. It's really, really good. It's really funny. What about you, gentlemen?
Cheesy? He doesn't watch TV, does he?
Sure I do.
Really?
TV shows. I actually have a habit of watching the morning dramas with my wife.
Oh, yippee.
Yeah, right now...
is it the Doctor one?
It's the Doctor one. It's called Ume-chan Sensei, starring Ayase Haruka.
Yes.
Who is the star of the new Super Mario Bros. 2 commercials.
Yes.
Oh, the cutie who's like, what's just playing?
Yeah, she's like one of the most famous models in Japan. Yeah. That's why I've been watching.
What about you, Eric?
It's the only reason, right?
I haven't watched anything since my son was born, I think. We haven't really been watching TV. Before that, I remember there was one, I can't think what it was called, but there was a show. It was kind of like a game show version of Saw.
What?
like basically, like, they would be, like, one of the things was people were standing in a sand pit and, like, they had to answer questions, and if they didn't answer them fast enough, they would just, like, sink to the bottom. Or there were, like, pillars that would be slowly slipping into the wall, and if they didn't answer the questions, they would fall to their, quote-unquote doom. That was so much fun. Like, it's just the quiz show plus, the Saw. Essentially, it's Saw, the quiz show.
So you saw that show and you had to watch it.
But ching.
Oh, you're done cheesy. What about you, Martin?
I don't watch Japanese TV. It makes me sick.
Oh, you just reminded me, actually, of one other show. It's like this... It's basically a show where they get all the celebrities together, as usual, and they have them taste certain...
Oh, I love that show. What's that called?
And certain drinks, and they have to, like, judge which one is, like, the high-quality one.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch
Kitchen?
that one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I love that show.
There was one episode where Gact was on there, the really famous actor. But he knows his stuff, though. Like, he is clearly all he ever does is eat high-class food and drink really high-class wine because he never messes up. Like, without fail... He'll take a sip of wine and it'll be like, it's really obvious it's this one. And he'll go to the room and everybody else will choose the other one and he'll be right every single time. Like, yeah.
My favorite quote from that is he sips the wine. He's like, yep, it's this one. And they're like, are you sure? He's like, if I'm wrong, I'm firing my someone. How do you pronounce that word? The wine guy? He's like, I'm going to fire my wine guy.
I watched that episode, I think. And everybody's just like, oh. Whoa.
I mean, Japanese TV kind of revolting, I think, because it's either celebrities, food, or celebrities eating food.
Yes.
And I'm like, really? Is that it? Is that all
That's all
you've
they've
got? Is that all? And I think it's revolting. I think it's really pathetic.
There's that one really good drama called Jin. It's about a doctor that time traveled.
That's pretty cool.
And he's in like the feudal era. But I guess
that
it's
also
based
stars Hayase Haruka.
It does. You're right.
Yes.
She's in everything good.
Yeah, she is.
I just don't dig Japanese TV whatsoever. Just don't like it.
I'm very specific.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just watch my Western TV shows, to be honest.
I watch those too. So
If it has Ayase Haruka or Nakama Yukie, I'm all over it.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
Without your pants on in it.
What?
She's like, how dare you? Next question.
Wow.
From JRD84, just another otaku. Since I'm playing the new Kamen Rider game on DS, any fellow tokusatsu fans, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, etc. Actually, so as I mentioned before, I'm a writer at Japanator, and so is my good buddy Eric as well.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
But
I didn't know.
But before that, in high school, I used to write reviews of Godzilla movies for an online website. The Godzilla fan community was really small at the time. There were like 4 really well-known sites, and I used to write for one of them. And that kind of sparked my interest in Japan, period. So I've always been a really big tokusatsu fan, and I still write for a site called Sci-Fi Japan that deals directly with a lot of the big tokusatsu studios. I did a lot of set visits a couple years ago.
Wow.
I'm really big on Ultraman and Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Not as much as I used to be, but I still get excited every now and then for a new show. The most recent thing that I watched and enjoyed was Garo, which was this really fantastic kind of dark series produced by Keita Amemiya, who's a famous illustrator in the community. But yeah, I was a big fan of that kind of stuff. So moving on, Agrin Sony 1. Who is your favorite Japanese singer? Gentlemen, help me out here.
Shina Ringo.
Yes, nailed it.
Shina Ringo.
Nailed it.
Now, are we talking singers or bands or any sort of musical act or what?
You know, I think they're probably aiming for like musical act.
Like J-pop, as in a singer.
Like, if there's a specific singer you like that's cool, like a band, anything I think is fine. Any kind of like a specific musical group or person that you enjoy.
Because if it were a band, I would say Kururi.
Oh,
they're good too, yeah.
They're very good.
But that's J-rock. That's not like a straight-up singer. They actually have instruments and
I
talent.
think that's fine, though. That's... Like,
If we're talking singers, though, I would probably say either Harada Ikuko from Clambon or Kimura Kaira.
Oh, I love her. And you know, she gets such a bad rap for her like silly songs that she puts out, but her other stuff is just really good.
I think it's fine to be silly every once in a while.
No, I love her silly stuff, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so Japanese and silly."
What are we talking about? My son started screaming.
Japanese singers.
I can't remember the lead singer's name, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. School Food Punishment. They have it's an all-female band, and they just have a really unique sound about them. They started off kind of indie, and they made it big and started producing some really crazy good music recently. If you like rock, female vocals, I definitely recommend checking them out. They're fantastic. But yeah, Shina Ringo is also amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of the Brilliant Green, which is headed by Tommy 16, I think it is. Tommy.
Huh.
What's her name? I forget.
What about you, Martin? Any favorite Japanese singer or band?
Amuro Namie.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Why? I mean, she's unbelievable. She's gorgeous. And she looks like she just hasn't aged whatsoever. She still looks like she's 18, which is amazing. She's not. That's my only choice.
All right. Next, Kamen Rider 1. Favorite platform to game on and why? For me, my handhelds. Period. I think I talked about this once before, but I'm kind of always on the go, and I like to game like laying down and just being in a really relaxed position. I'm putting on my headphones and just getting sucked into my handheld is the best way to do it, especially because the headphones close you off from everything, you know? When I sit down in front of my TV screen, I think psychologically, to me, it means that I'm going to be sitting down here for an extended period of time, and it feels like I'm wasting more time doing that than when I do the same thing with a handheld. It's kind of weird, but I like the ability to just turn a handheld on and off with one button and have the game just show up, you know? It just feels more
Yeah, especially like you can just put it to sleep. Oh, I need to stop now, quick. Switch it off. You know what I mean? Just hit the power button and then just come back to it when you're in the toilet again. You know what I mean? It's just like in and out straight away, no problem.
I mean, I still, don't get me wrong, I still play my PS3 for plenty of things. A home console will always have a place in my life. I just find that I also think that a lot of Japanese game developers design better games for the handheld.
Yes.
Because of the restrictions in place, they put more effort in the things that I care about.
Right.
A lot of people talk about like the death of the JRPG, especially on consoles. And for me, as a proud PSP owner who primarily gamed on his PSP through all of the last generation, I can say as a JRPG fan, I had a great time.
my PS3 died like a week ago, so yeah.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I'm just playing my Vita now and 3DS. So yeah, I'm basically a handheld gamer now as well.
Yeah, Japan definitely did that to me too. But and primarily, the 3DS and Vita. But like I was saying before, I do that Final Fantasy V thing, and I was playing a little bit on the SP, and I forgot how nice that was to hold. So the SP it's just so comfortable in the hands.
It's funny you mention that because I actually bought one for the first. I never owned one. I had an original Game Boy Advance. And I bought one a few months ago just because I really wanted like a SP, It's just a great system.
Yes, it is. I also have one as well. With no games. Yeah. Okay, next. What's next?
Master Assassin 79. What is the maximum number of PS1 games you have had at any one time? You can include download games if you like.
Hundreds. Literally hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work for Sony. Remember, we got free games like every month.
Oh.
We got like 5 titles every month. I remember.
Wow. Yeah, I owned a lot.
Yeah, I did, and I was very very pleased. No, about hundreds. I literally when I left to come to Japan, I let them all go. Some video game store was happy.
I mean,
I got ripped off.
It's really dangerous for me here because I'm not a collector, but I feel like I could become one with any single purchase. When you're at like a book off or a hard off, or if you live in one of the bigger cities, you go to a Super Potato or what have you, you see that one retro game, that one PlayStation 1 game you really like. Last time I was in Tokyo, I saw a Japanese copy of Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, for I believe 3,000 yen. It was like, great condition, booklet, everything, beautiful cover art. And I got very close to buying it, and I stopped myself because if I did buy it, it would have opened the flood doors to buying way too many others.
Yes, I've done that so many times. I've been walking up and down the aisle for like an hour going, do I buy it? Do I not buy it? Do I buy it? I don't know how many times I've done that. I've been in that situation. Yeah, I don't want to be in that situation because I know that once I start, it's impossible to stop.
And I mean, I'm going to be in Osaka this week, and I'm going to definitely go to Denden Town a few times.
Oh yes, you are.
I know, and it's going to be very, very dangerous. Like, I'm going to be walking around landmines that entire time.
Oh, you're going shopping with me. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. I convinced a friend to buy a copy of Metal Gear 2 for the MSX. He didn't even own an MSX. So you're in trouble.
So
don't do this to me.
Are you going to buy a Dragon Quest with him as well?
Probably not, because my paycheck isn't until like after that trip.
Oh, wait.
And that's if I buy it, that's like a cool, 10,000 yen right out of my wallet, and that's a little bit much.
Not bad.
Well, I mean, it's in the upper 7,000, 8,000 range, so yeah. I'm gonna hold off until I have more money. Plus, TGS is coming up as well, so
yeah. I have exactly 13 PSX games.
You have them like with you right now?
They're in the other room, but I've got my spreadsheet open here, and I have 13 listed.
Wait. You have a spreadsheet of games?
Yeah, I haven't updated it in a while, but yeah.
Wow.
I haven't gotten PSX games in a very long time, so it's... system's up to
What's
date.
your favorite PSX game you have?
I would probably have to say Mega Man X4.
Oh, you are a good man. You are just getting on my good side tonight, Cheesy.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise traders. I have 75 PS1 games.
What?
Yep, 75.
That's a lot.
It's not hundreds, but yeah, we bought my.
On the plus side, I have 35 Sega Saturn games, if that counts for anything.
Do you have a Sega Saturn?
I do. I bought one like half a year ago.
Oh, okay, good.
And that's an amazing little system.
It was, yeah. It was. What's your favorite game on there then?
Oof.
Does it require extra memory?
No, it did not.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Sakura Taisen 2.
I remember
Sakura
that.
Wars 2. When I was younger, before I knew any Japanese, my sister owned a Japanese Saturn and imported games. And the first one she imported was Sakura Wars, Sakura Taisen.
Mm-hmm.
And we played it with like a FAQ that we found online, the translation. And it was just so much fun. And I remember like when I first started studying Japanese, what I thought to myself was, when I get good enough, I want to go back to that game and like play it. And last year I bought a copy of it for the first time in like, some 15 years. And I started playing it and understood it, and it was just this really mind-blowing event for me, Kind of like things going full circle. It was cool.
That's pretty smart. All right, let's go next.
Next, favorite music game in the arcades. That's from Hasemo. I like the Vocaloids, so I like Project Diva. It's
You
a lot
like
of fun.
Vocaloids? You like the cheesy game?
What?
I'm cheesy.
Yeah, that's me though. And Taiko no Tatsujin as well. Taiko Masters.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my answer. Taiko no Tatsujin.
Poppin' music?
Poppin'
Music
too.
is-
Yeah, Poppin' music is probably mine.
I've not seen it in the arcades for a very long time, but I actually got Samba de Amigo on the Dreamcast last year.
And the controls work just fine.
Yeah, I've got 2 pairs of maracas, and it works just fine. So I've played it a bit with my wife, and we've had a lot of fun with it.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on? Last question of the night. Charmoil asks, cockroaches in Japan, are they big and nasty? Do they fly? Do they run toward or away from you when challenged? This is a really specific question, by the way, Charmoil. I've actually never encountered a cockroach in my apartment. So
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Where do you
I
live?
defer to you, gentlemen.
So it's a hot, sweaty summer morning. I wake up.
Oh.
I'm in my old apartment before I got married. I'm just sweaty to start. Don't have my glasses on. And I look up at the ceiling, and there's just a little thing, a black dot that I never noticed before. And it starts moving.
Oh,
And then it starts moving on the wall.
it's
And
a
then I
little
say-
friend.
I grab my glasses, and hey, my little friend, the cockroach, has shown up. So I look around my room, and I guess I got something from Amazon a few days prior and didn't throw the box away. So I swing the box at the cockroach. It flies, as they do, and just moving around the apartment. So I'm chasing this cockroach, flying around my apartment, smacking at it, until it finally goes near the door to exit my apartment. And I just smash it with all of my might, and just, boom, let its all little cockroachy goodness on my floor.
That's not goodness, though, because sometimes, I mean, if you hit them, maybe a female one with all the
Oh,
eggs on it.
yeah, no, the goodness
eggs.
was not intended. Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
God.
cleaned that up so proper, and I went back to bed and cried for about 2 hours.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
the eggs go everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know
that-
about you guys. I sleep on the floor, so that's terrifying.
Do you sleep with your mouth open, or do you wear a mask?
I hide under my blanket and hope that I never wake up with a face covered in cockroaches.
Oh, yum, yum, yum.
Ugh.
Yeah, they can be pretty big.
Yeah, they are.
They're pretty big, right?
They're
Yeah, they're-
huge.
I've never seen any of them, like, confront me, though.
No,
Oh,
it's
sure
not
they
right.
do.
Yo, what up? You want to fight? You want to
Yeah.
fight?
They'll provoke you, definitely.
I've never seen that. I've seen... You seen them provoke you?
Well,
Where do
normally
you live,
when
man?
I notice them, they're like either crawling up behind me or on the wall. So I just grab my shoe and I whack them. Of course, my wife doesn't like me to use my shoe. She would much rather use the spray, but she freaks out whenever she sees a cockroach. And I'm never around when they show up. So she's always having... My poor wife has to fight the cockroaches alone.
I remember
And whenever I'm around, they just don't show up. They're afraid of me, rightfully so.
I had a friend who used to chase them with a candle and pour wax over them.
Oh my god.
She used to chase them around her apartment and
Red Sun Gamer, kind to nature.
just pour wax over them. It's funny and just like wax them up and then smash them. It was great.
You know, I don't even mind. Like, they're disgusting. They're huge. They're disgusting. They fly. But like,
I've never seen a flying one. Never seen a flying one.
No, I had the flying one earlier. But like, they fly. You know, they're gross. But like, I can handle them. What freak me out to no end are the mukade.
The what?
Oh yeah.
The centipedes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, big, colorful.
Oh, I can't. Don't even talk about it. I cannot do centipedes. Cockroaches don't bother me at all.
The centipedes, though, if they sting you, you got to go to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
pretty
They're
nasty
just disgusting,
sting.
though. Like, they're just terrifying looking.
I've only ever seen one in Japan, and it had been flattened by a car.
Oh man. This was like right after my son was born. We're at my in-laws because that's how it works. Like, the baby and the wife go to the in-laws for a while, and I look up on the wall and there's just this like couple inch long, maybe more, half a foot of just on the wall, on the ceiling. And my father-in-law is like, "Oh, okay." So he goes and he gets some like packing tape and just like packing tape thing, and then just takes a hammer and starts banging the wall.
What?
He's like, "All right, it's taken care of." And like
That's how you do it, huh?
And the packing tape was just up there for a while, and like eventually, like I guess when he figured the juices were gone and disabled, like he took it down. Because that's the thing with them: if you kill them, like they release their juices all in the air, and that like summons more mukade.
More of them, yeah.
So you don't want to kill them.
You got to be careful, right? You
Yeah.
This conversation is sending chills down my spine. Can
I tell you what, I go running every night, well, the gym and stuff, yeah. And one day I came home, I was so tired, I just came home and just like died on the floor, and I was obviously still sweaty and stuff. And then I felt this itchy on my leg.
Oh, come on, man!
I felt an itchiness on my leg, and I looked down. And there was a cockroach on my leg, and I was like, "Damn, do I smell that bad?"
Oh God, guys, come on!
So yeah,
then you put mayonnaise on it and eat it.
Yeah, and I ate it. It was nice and crunchy.
And now you just lost cheesy too.
So no, I was like, "Oh my God!" So yeah, that was dead. But
that's so gross.
Yeah, they are pretty gross. I've never seen a flying one though.
Nope, I had one.
Out of all of the 7 years I've been here, I have not seen a flying cockroach.
I have a question, not quite related to cockroaches, but still on the topic of insects and bugs. Have any of you guys ever, like in the summer, looked into the trees and successfully seen a cicada?
Yes, this morning.
No.
Not in a tree.
Like, you know how you see the trees and it's just like screaming coming from the trees, and you're like, there must be hundreds in there. And you look at a tree and you're just looking so hard, and you know there's like 20 of them on that tree, and yet you can never see them.
I told you the predators.
It's crazy.
Want some candy?
Want some candy?
I've seen one on a window before, but never in a tree.
I totally saw one this morning on a tree. So
they're totally ninjas.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They are ninjas. I feel sorry for them though, because they spend 10 years underground, then they wake up, they come out for 2 weeks, and then die. But they die in the weirdest way. They die on their back. But sometimes when you find them on the floor on their back, and if you walk up to them and touch them, they'll just jump up and go whee and scream, flying away. It's kind of weird. It's like, why were you on the floor in the first place if you've got all this power to basically jump up, scream, and fly away?
Yo, bro, you're still alive. Stop it.
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of feel sorry for cicadas, and they get confused now as well, because instead of laying their eggs in the floor, they're starting to lay eggs in telephone lines.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So they're obviously there's not as many of them as there should be, apparently.
We need to be holding educational classes for the cicadas so they can get their shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where you lay eggs. This is where you do not lay eggs. Telephone lines. Yeah, they get confused. I don't know.
Well, they certainly do sound like exploding telephone lines.
They do.
I quite like them.
I like the ones that come on at night. Was it
Those
the
are
Higurashi?
fun.
Higurashi, yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
Higurashi are great. It's just the ones... Okay, so yesterday I went to a concert that a few friends were putting on, and middle of the day, summer, and we're in the park, and we had to turn up the volume on all of the speakers and all the instruments because the cicadas were beating our sound.
Wow.
The cicadas were drowning out the sound of the concert. It was ridiculous.
Dang.
That's pretty smart.
That's Japan.
Welcome to Japan. Okay, do we have anything else on this agenda? No, I think it's done.
I think house cleaning time.
Okay, good. So, if you'd like to get in touch with us, it's redsungamer@gmail.com. That's the emails. If you want to get in touch with us on the Twitters, Elliot?
Ryoga Satome.
Good. Oh, Eric?
Revenant Kyoku.
You want to spell that out just in case someone said, what?
REVENANTKIOKU.
Excellent. Cheesy.
Cheesemeister 3K.
It's on the show notes. DJ Mizuhara. If you want to check out our YouTube channel, it's RedSunGamerTV. Subscribe to that. If you want to, follow us on the our live streaming as well. But we won't be doing live streaming for a little while because there's not going to be anyone here. But yeah, if you want to go to Twitch TV /RedSunGamer, you can follow us on there. And if you can, please and thank you, iTunes reviews.
Please.
Yes.
Pretty please.
Pretty please. You can also find us on the Gaff, on the NeoGAF. We have a thread of our own. Just if you've got any comments or if you'd like maybe for us to change the format of the show or whatever, or if you've got any comments, just leave them in there. We're also on retroids.com. We've got a thread on there as well.
And one quick thing.
Yeah.
I talked about it last week, but I'm going to be in Osaka from the 15th to the 17th this week. And I'm actually already meeting with a listener, fan of the show, Mujun from NeoGAF, who wants to go to lunch.
Oh.
So if there are any other listeners in Japan who just want to meet up while I'm there, send me a tweet real quick, and I'd be happy to say hello.
In Osaka, though, right?
Yeah, in Osaka.
Okay. Is there going to be a bunch of yous? Because
No,
they might be afraid if it's just you.
But if you want to chill or just hang out, whatever, send me a tweet.
Nice. Is anyone else going to be there? Is it just you or?
I mean, I'm just meeting him for lunch.
Okay.
Because I'm busy the rest of the day. But
Righty. Okie dokie. Cool. So yes, there will not be a podcast next week because I will be in the UK. So unless you guys want to do it,
I'm not going to be around. So.
Right. Okie dokie. So there won't be one next week. So we'll be back, I think, on the 26th.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 26th. So
with any luck, there will have been a Nintendo Direct before then.
Ooh.
So follow Cheesy on the Twitters, and he will probably do a live translation of it,
if possible.
Yeah, if possible, because you've done it before, and I, as I said before on the podcast, I really appreciated what you did because I was in class when Nintendo Direct was going on, and I didn't know what was going on, and I come back and I just pulled up your history on Twitter, and boom, knew everything in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's time permitting, of course. I do have a life and I do have a job. So.
No way.
No.
Yes way.
No, really?
So if I'm available for it, if there is a Nintendo Direct, I'll live translate it.
I'm sure one of us will end up translating it regardless, just because we all watch those kinds of things anyway. So
yeah, I won't be though.
Just follow us on Twitter.
Yes. Okie dokie. So, anyone got any last? Anything?
No.
I
love you.
Buy Dragon Quest X. Game of the Year.
Buy Nayuta no Kiseki. Game of the Year, probably.
Oh.
Buy Gravity Days. Game of the Year.
Oh, look at this. Hey.
Yeah. Eric
hey.
didn't even play the full game. You're not allowed to talk.
I'm sorry.
Are you saying... And you played the demo?
Yeah.
To you?
The demo is not representative.
Yeah, the demo's actually pretty bad.
Yeah, the demo is not a good point of call.
I'll give him a speaking to when I see him in Osaka.
All right, while we're talking.
Give him a spanking.
Nah, maybe.
You naughty boy.
And on that note.
On that note. Okay, so yes, thank you for listening to episode 46. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So, お疲れ様です。
お疲れ様
お疲れ様。
です。